Hello, everyone. Welcome to Pepperell. It's the first round of the state playoffs. You're watching WCAT.
Family, tradition, respect. After a regular season full of highs and lows, full of battles and victories, the time is now. The Wildcats travel to Pepperell. It's time for the state playoffs. It's time for championship football.
Jake in shotgun. Reed Love dancing down the right. We're going to roll right. Number 3 looks open, but not enough. Nightway fell down, and he's going to throw it deep. He's got a guy! Touchdown! That's number 27! Merritt Huber on the catch of the year from Jake 40! Merritt Huber doing it both ways. Big hit last week. Touchdown tonight! Charlie Trent snapping to Jake 40. We got a new holder this week. Kick is off. Plenty of leg. Should be in there. And it's good! And the Cats have tied it up! Off the magical toe of 82, Harrison Butker. We've been riding the Butker train all year. Watch out for Big Joe Bridges on the left side of that line at tight end. Nigel standing behind Jake 40 under center. They're going to give it to 33 around the corner. Nigel's going to go. Watch Nigel Walker get in. Nigel Walker putting on a clinic. What a run by 33. 82. Oh, it's a fake play. They kick it in to Joe Bridges. He's going to try to go Harrison Woodward. Touchdown! That was Jake 40 on the inside pitch to 48 Harrison Woodward. Rode him all last week. We're trying to ride him again tonight. Trying to kick this through from about 38 yards. Normally a tough kick for a high schooler. Good snap. Kick is plenty of leg. Harrison Butker taking control of this game and winning it for the Westminster Wildcats. What a kick!
I'm Jerry Romberg, head football coach of the Westminster Wildcats, and you're watching WCAT.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ben Ladner here with Keller Austin here to bring you some Westminster football. Last week we played Hapeville Charter at home. Keller, what did you take away from that last game?
Well, Ben, it was a great momentum builder for the Cats. Our defense really played strong throughout the whole game. Gave up 6 points until the very last play. When we had our backups in. So defense really needs to stay strong again today. And the offense put up a lot of points. So we need to build off of last week's win against Hapeville Charter, a very strong win, and bring it into tonight's first-round playoff game.
Well, we're playing Pepperell tonight, as we mentioned. They're 6-4 on the season. Their last state championship was in 1990. They're playing Westminster for the first time ever tonight. And so, Keller, who are some players we can highlight for Pepperell tonight?
Well, Pepperell's quarterback, number 3, Kyle Henderson, the senior, is one of their best players, Ben. He has 8 passing touchdowns, 6 rushing touchdowns, as well as their running back, number 24, Ben Davenport. He has over 1,100 rushing yards on the season. He averages 5 yards per carry, as well as number 7, Landon Brooks, the senior wide receiver, has 219 yards, receiving 3 touchdowns on just 21 receptions. This is a very run-first offense, about 70-30.
Now we're going to send it up to Bill McGann, who has tonight's call.
All right, thank you very much. That's Ben Ladner and Keller Austin with the pregame. We'll be hearing a lot from them tonight. Pepperell is about to kick off, going from our right to left, and they kick it high and deep. It's going to go over there to McLean Bradley, catch it around the 11-yard line. I'm going to pin him in a little bit on the left, and he's stood up nicely and then down about the 24. So the Cats take over 1st and 10. Pretty good field position on a cold night. Cats playing on a grass field tonight, wearing their white tops and green bottoms, going against a Pepperell team, which is a large team. These are a whole bunch of kids who are very large, about 300 pounds. Quickly, we're going to take a look at our schedule, how we got here tonight. The Cats are 4-6, playing, as you see, Pepperell right there, having coming off a win against Hapeville. And then Pepperell's coming in tonight 6-4. They beat their last 2 teams, Murray County 47-7 and Armucci 36-0. So here we go. Jake 40 in gun. He's going to have 3 right, 1 left. Now he puts Kyle Murphy in motion. Jake's got Nigel standing next to him. He's going to throw it out in the flats over to Otley. He's going to try to run up that right sideline. They say his knee touched the ground at the 21, so we lost 3 on that play. Kind of a flat pass right there. J. Paul Meyer out to Chris Otley, but Otley had to go down low to get it and touch his knee to the ground just barely, but he did. We're going to be joined a second also with Jack Bondurant. We got the whole host of Westminster Wildcat WCATers up here in Pepperell, North Georgia, just south of Rome. Not too late to come out here. on a beautiful night. Little smoke hanging over the field from the Dragon, which launched, I guess, I don't know, some fire breathing right at the opening kickoff. Kind of cool. And we're going to now run Nigel around that left side. He's got a little bit of a seam. Nigel Walker around the left side, going in front of the Cat bench all the way out near midfield. Nigel Walker, 33, turning the corner, getting some nice blocking there, Jay Paul, and turning it up.
Beautifully done, and what a play to get the day started, or the night started off right. I mean, that's a big, looks like it's going to be about a 20-yard gain.
And called back. We got a flag all the way back near the original
hurts.
line. Nigel had danced around that left side, and they caught somebody on a hole. I didn't catch the number, but Jack Bondurant, you're joining us. That was a nice run in any event by Nigel Walker.
Oh, yeah, fantastic break to the outside. Nice blocking, blocked down by the line. He was able to just get around. Great block by the wide receiver out pretty far out there, and then he just got around them. Nobody was going to stop him there.
No, but all for naught. It's going to be brought back with a hold, so it's going to be second and about 23, let's call it. Ball sitting on the 12. We got to get to the 34, so call it 22. Second and 22. Now Jake 40, quarterback in under center, one back standing behind him. He's going to fake that handoff and roll right. He's got a little bit of a time. Nice blocking. He's got somebody very deep. If he sees him, and he's going to throw it out to Harrison. Wide open, way down that field was number 19. I don't think he spotted it, Conrad Cornell, around midfield, but he had to throw it away on that. He was being chased down by a number of Dragons there, Jay Paul, but throws it incomplete.
Right, a little risky to try to get that far down the field, but I think if he saw him set his feet, he could have gotten it there. He's got a strong arm. But Jake, he's usually very good about his decision making, and he hasn't had too many bad decisions this year. He's done a really good job.
Jack, third and long for the Cats, not what we wanted.
Yeah, this is definitely not the way to start the game. It would have been great if Nigel's run had counted, but they're going to have to come up with a big play right now.
They're showing blitz. That middle backer is now going to come. They're going to throw it on the flats over there to Connor Bennett, and was tackled after a gain about 5. Well short. So it's going to bring up a fourth and about 15. And the Dragon faithful, I think they've got a bunch of noisemakers. We're standing on the home side on top of the press booth, covered. We're looking down. This is a great place to look, but a little constrained with all these cameras and stuff up here, but kind of cool. So if you hear a lot of noisemakers and stuff, we're on the Pepperell side. And back to punt for the Cats will be Harrison Bucker, standing at his own 5. Line of scrimmage just shy of the 20. And they're expecting to catch it around the 40, so they're expecting about a 40-yard punt. Let's see what Harrison can do. He's been kicking well all year. Can we get some stats? And Harrison, toe meets leather. Nice kick by Harrison, driving the Pepperell kid back, and he lets it bounce. Harrison, what a boomer! All the way down to the, let's call it the 22. We flipped the field on about a 60-yarder there. Wow, what a kick. So with that, let's flip it back down to the sidelines and see what our sideline reporters have down there. Let's see Keller and
Thanks a lot, Bill. We're the Westminster Wildcats in this game, 4-6 on the regular season. But as we know, records are both 0-0 coming into the playoffs. This is their 6th straight year in the playoffs, so obviously some long-term success for the Wildcats there. And this is the biggest game of their season. Other than this being the playoffs, what's the importance of this game for Westminster?
Well, Ben, this is really about making a statement for the Cats. We've struggled a little bit through the year, moving the ball offensively, but we had that big win against Hayfield Charter. Where we've won our first 5. We've won our first round of the playoffs the last 5 years. So to keep that trend going, build on the legacy that we've had throughout the playoffs these past 6 years. As you mentioned, getting into the playoffs, it's just been a real good job for the Cats this year to be able to make the playoffs after facing some adversity early.
And so, we highlighted some players for Pepperell. What are some players or matchups that we may want to watch on the Westminster side?
Well, Pepperell's offensive line is very large, 320, 300, 290, 280.
And we're going to cut it off. Here, their back's going to go. He's into our backfield. That's Davenport streaking down the right side. Gains about 57 yards on the run down to the Cat 22. What a run by Davenport. We had a bunch of guys stacked up, but Davenport got through, got into our backfield. We had a safety up there, Jay Paul, but he got into the backfield and knew what to do with it.
We're lucky we got to him. He was on a roll. He had a blocker in front and could have done a lot of damage. We're lucky we got him back. But that's a really crucial. It's a really quite a blow to the defense early on. Let's see what we can make out of it. See if we can hold them.
They got that big, just like Ben and Keller are saying, Jack. They got that big line, and so we bring a lot of guys up to try to negate those big blockers, but that time when they catch a seam, they get right through and they got a lot of space.
Yeah, and the running game has been huge for the Dragons all season. Davenport's been averaging over 100 yards per game, and that's mostly, as you said, brought on by that massive line.
That was a nice Nelson Douglas getting into the backfield there. Nice tackle, J. Paul.
And also that Davenport's been averaging a good we've got a Mr. Davenport at school, but Davenport's been averaging a good 8 yards a carry, which is impeccable for a running back. So we really got to neutralize him tonight, and I think we'll have a very good shot if we can.
Nice use of impeccable there,
Thank
Jack
you.
Bonner. You hear that, Jack Bonner? J. Paul Meyer using that SAT word right there.
Yeah, you can tell he's been studying those
He's been
apple
studying.
roofs.
You look
yeah,
absolutely. All right, 2nd and 11. Good
Man
start
on the right.
to this series. They're going to try to they're going to run it.
A lot
Out
of
the
pressure.
flat pass. We got it covered pretty good, and they tackle him on the coverage over there again. That's Nelson Douglas all over the field at sequence. So it's going to bring up a 3rd and long. All right, we're going to try to. I know we got Keller Austin down there and Ben Ladner. Ben, let's see what else you got down there.
Bill, we saw that long run. You mentioned the offensive line. The run game has been Achilles heel for Westminster so far this season. Keller, we really need to cut down on those long runs.
Well, Ben, our defense has been pretty strong against the pass all season, and especially in the red zone, as we see here. Obviously, it's 3rd and 8, and so the Cats are with their backs against the wall. And so the Cats really need to stay strong and not get down when we do have long.
And they ran Davenport up the gut that time. Cats blitzed.
Pepperell has a strong offensive line, and so their running backs just have huge holes to run through. Their offensive line has 320 pounds, 300 pounds, 290, 280, 270. They even have a guy going to LSU next year to play offensive line. And so that's really the strength of this Pepperell team, is just opening up the holes. I've seen a couple of film on them. When they snap the ball, the defense is already 5 yards back because the offense just explodes. And I think we need to see Justin Giza, one of our bigger players on the D-line, just blow up the play in the middle, just try to make a statement early.
All right, guys, 4th and 9. There's a big play early. They're going to go for it. Put a man in motion. Quarterback's going to go drop back to pass it. We got our hands on him. Now he's running around the left side. He's looking to throw it. He throws it deep, and it's incomplete. And the Cats will take over on downs. Great defensive sequence there by the Cats. Cameron Seward running them down. And great coverage over there by Hayes Meyer. Also number 16 over there, Nelson Douglas, Jack, all over the field and after that big run by them.
Oh, yeah, after they got that huge break, Westminster defense really stepped it up, shut them down, getting towards the red zone, but the offense pretty much died out right there. And let's see what the Wildcats can do now.
And you glanced over it, Bill. That was a 4th down. We're going to take over on downs, keeping 3 points off the board, and that's a possession and a score, so that's a big role of the defense getting that done.
Joe Bridge is flipping from right to left side in motion. Going to hand it off to Nigel, go right through the middle. It's Cameron, pardon me. Cameron's still going. Fumble the football. It's loose on the 30. Call it to 29. No indication yet. And now it's Pepperell's ball. Cameron Seward was hit after about 4 or 5 yards, was still churning those legs, but it popped right out of his hands, and Pepperell will take off. Now we really need the defense, Jack, to dig deep right now.
Yeah, they just got one stop right on the possession before. We need another one right here. We don't know much about the Pepperell kicking game, but seeing as they didn't try for the field goal on that last possession, if they can force it into that 4th down, then Westminster's got a huge shot of getting another turnovers on down.
Exactly. I mean, 1st down here, I think the Cats they did it 5 minutes ago. Let's see if they can do it again. It's going to be quarterback under center for Pepperell.
Yep, they got 9 guys on that right in tight in the box. This is where they run over that left side. Now they're going to run over the right side. He's trying to make the edge, and he's got it. Davenport trying to make it, but nice play. Number 17, Jake Johnson, got around that receiver, and Jake comes up. Make great position tackle there by Jake Johnson, Jack Bonner.
Oh, yeah, that was fantastic stick. He fought off the defenders, stepped up, hit him pretty hard, took out the legs. Running back without any legs is pretty much worthless.
Yeah, Davenport, though, boy, he's quick. It was a design play to go inside there, J. Paul, but he got the corner out of that great block and got 7-8 yards on that play.
Right, and he's a big guy, but he's got a lot of speed. Jake Johnson did a great job of getting off that block by the receiver, and I think that's going to be really crucial if we can contain him with our defensive ends, Ross Johnson and others, along with Jake Johnson, our cornerbacks, those wider guys.
They're going to follow that lead blocker, and he's going to fall forward. Going to be just shy, I think, bring him about 3rd and 1. I believe the tackle there, number 43, Ross Johnson, in on that. Again, we're going to talk a lot about that interior line for the Wildcats. Number 75, Clay Smith, anchoring that in there. Justin Giza. Other names in there that you're going to hear all night is Trip Riddle.
Harrison Woodward in the backs.
Harrison Woodward, big Russell Uday, number 60. They're large, young men. They come to your house. You better have a stock fridge, J. Paul.
Well said. But Ross Johnson, a really big part. I think if he can keep 24 inside, I think we're going to have a good game tonight.
3rd and 1. Going to hand it off to Davenport right up the middle. We got him behind the line, and we throw him down with a loss. Maybe a loss, maybe back to the original. So 4th and 1. I think it's 4-down territory if the first sequence was any indication. And so it's going to be about 4th and 2. They went for it on 4th and 8 at the same spot on the field, Jack. So they're going to go for it again right here.
Oh, yeah, this I think it's a clear indication of I don't know if it's lack of faith, but just not really feeling the kicking game so far.
Well, this is a real tough kick. This would be about a 40-yarder on a grass field on a cold night. And so they've got a huge line with college D1 kind of guys on the line. They're going to follow those guys. Quarterback in under center. He's going to fake it and roll out right. He's got one receiver out deep. He's got a guy deep. Let's see if we can defend him. And it's picked off. But it was out of the end zone, and it's incomplete. So it was out of the end zone, so the Cats are going to take over on downs. That was single coverage over there, I believe. Did you catch the number on the coverage? Nigel Edmonds. Or Nigel Walker. Pardon me. And and that ball was actually thrown out of the end zone, and the Pepperell fans wanted interference on Nigel. Right. But I think the ball was just thrown. So far, it was thrown out of the end zone. They ran out of field, so there was no flag thrown. So the Cats take over second time inside the 25. Cats take over on down. Boy,
and that's big to be right by that red zone to get the ball back to your offense, save the scoreboard a little bit. No points up yet. Let's see what the Cats can do. But really a phenomenal call by Jerry Romberg to get these bigger, these 3-5. There's 8 or 9 guys in the box playing defense against this running back. They're just trying to jam that line, give him no holes to run through, and force the power of less guys against your
40's going to throw. He's going to try to look to Joe Bridges. Nope, he's got a guy out on the left side. It's Jake Johnson right in front of the Cat bench. Crossed the 40 to about the 43. Pretty simple pattern. Went down about 20 yards there, Jack, and then took a left turn, out pattern, and 40 hit him right in the numbers.
Yeah, Jake's playing a great game so far on both sides of the ball, making a clutch tackle in the open field on defense, then coming back with a huge 20-yard gain to start this drive.
Jake 40 to Jake Johnson. A lot of Jakes. What, it was 17 years ago, 2 boys named Jake. And was there a Jake? Somebody maybe on 90210 or something? Big, you wonder about these things.
Never know.
Got a swing pass over there to
McLean Bradley.
He's a strong kid. He's going down the right side. McLean's still loose, still on his feet. Inside the 30 to the 25. McLean Bradley, number 6. On a swing from 40, it takes it into their territory. What a play.
And something amazing about McLean Bradley, he's got so much speed to work with, and he's able to just push through those arm tackles. He's not as big and powerful as Nigel Walker, but he's a lot more condensed, and he's so fast. He's able to, that swing route's a perfect route for him because he gets out there, makes a nice catch, and can just have an opportunity to get up the field. Receiver did a great job blocking. McLean broke a couple tackles, and that's a good 30-yard gain.
Now we got Cameron Seward now, another back, different backs switching off for the Cats. Standing behind Jake 40 under center. Going to hand it off to Cameron. He fumbled once today. Got 2 hands on that ball that time, Jack. Looked like he wanted to set his pads in that run and not cough it up that time.
Yeah, he had a tough one on the last possession. The hand just got in underneath. That time, shoulders over it, head down, just powering through the middle for a couple yards.
It happens when you least expect it. Cameron's made a good 5-yard run, and he's still got one arm on the ball, and one of these big guys gets a fist up in that up where the ball is, and they just pop it right out, and you never see it coming.
2 tight end formation for the Cats. Going to fake that handoff to Cameron. Jake's going to roll out to the right side and gun it over there. Intended receiver was, I believe that is number 92. Did I get that number right?
Yes, you did.
Who's number 92 listed tonight? We don't have that on our program.
Maybe Sloan Schuler?
Sloan Schuler, perhaps. Maybe it's a mystery man. We've recruited an Atlanta Falcon.
Maybe we brought back, it might be 82.
No,
it's 92.
I think it's 92. Boy, your eyes are going. You're just as bad as mine.
And I got glasses on. I lost my other ones.
You know what it is? It's eating all that WCAT food all year. By the end of the year, your eyes will go.
Cinnamon sticks, M&Ms.
Oh my God, that cheeseburger tonight. All right, so 3rd and 9. Cats knocking on the door. probably in scoring formation. They're going to hit it off to Connor Bennett, trying to get around that left side. Stop.
Well
he
done.
cut back. Connor Bennett up the seam. He may go. Connor Bennett going in for the touchdown. And the Cats take the lead.
Beautifully done by Connor Bennett. Cut under two defensive backs. I mean, what a cut. Also, Jake Forty and Cameron Seward faked everything right. All the linemen and lead blockers went right. And Connor Bennett went left on a little fullback pulled to the left, and he just cut right under those two guys and made a great play. Kept running. They thought they had him on the 5, and he got it in for the touchdown.
Yeah,
Jack.
that was beautiful field awareness by Bennett. Knowing where the defenders are, knowing where the holes are, broke a couple, or kind of bounced off a couple would-be tacklers, brought it in for 6.
Connor Bennett, the senior from Ridgewood Road, cutting back to his right and going right up the middle. He had a couple of guys who had hands on him starting about the 10 there, but Connor leaned forward, stumbled and bumbled and made it all the way in for the score. And the Cats go up 6-0 in this important single elimination tournament, the GHSA playoffs. Cats lining up, showing a trick play. Let's see what we do. We've got the best kicker in the state. And we're going to line it up and use that kicker. 82 will be kicking off the ground on a grass field here in Pepperell. Great field, terrific field, and in just a wonderful facility up here. It's really a beautiful drive. You're not too late to come on up here. See the autumn foliage there, J. Paul.
Absolutely. That's some nice foliage up there. Butker gets a kick off.
Plenty of leg, and it is good. And he kicks it onto the roof almost of the facility over the track. So with that, the Cats go up 7-0. But the story is not so much the McLean Bradley and the Connor Bennett runs, but really the defense holding twice. They were knocking on the door, had the ball inside our 25, 1st and 10, 2 separate times, Jack, and the defense really showed up both those times.
Yeah, it's a fantastic start for the game for the defense. Getting 2 almost red zone stops, allowing for the offense to come back, drive 80 yards for a touchdown, and setting the pace for this game. It looks like if the Wildcats defense can keep this up, there's going to be no contest.
Absolutely. That defense is going to play a huge role tonight, especially against big number 24 Davenport. But something you notice in the stats here, you've got 3 big plays to set up that touchdown drive. We got a big 20-yard pass to Jake Johnson, 15-yard swing pattern to McLean Bradley. So maybe it's going to be the big plays tonight, along with maybe turnovers. Turnovers pretty much determine 90% of games. Turnovers and special teams.
I think one other factor will be the coldness of our toes up here at WCAT. Because you can't ever count that out. WCATers all dressed up and they're warm. Normally, you see these tough WCAT Wildcats wearing shorts, but not tonight. All right. 92, by the way, is Sloan Schuler. Sloan Schuler was that
good eye by Jack Bondurant.
Jack Bondurant. Knowing the players, you can tell the players without a scorecard. You can. And Jack Bondurant can do that. Jack, as Harrison kicks off, tell us a little bit about it's going to be high and deep and God. Tell us a little bit about that cross-country state championship. You remember the team, one of the top runners individually in the state, but when it came down to that state run, it was all about team.
Oh, yeah, it was a great race by the Wildcats. Main competition for the state final was Wesleyan. We'd run against them 3 times before in the season. They'd been really close at the region, or somewhat close to the region, but very close at Last Chance, which was at Carrollton, same place as the state course. And then for the state race, it's all about grouping. And even though we got our 1 in front of their first runner, which was huge, but then we had to follow that up with getting our 2, 3, 4, and 5 before they could get their 5th guy in there.
All right, loose. They wrote the guy in motion, but here comes somebody in to try to get him. I believe that's Jake Johnson, who's corralled him back at the 16. The ball was at the 20 after kicking it in. He ran all the way right on that man in motion and then tried to come back and double back, and Jake tackled him down. But you had the leading runner. You had Flowers coming back from that mono. He was sick. And then you had Harry O'Connor. Who else was in there?
Yeah, then we had Graham Huff, the only sophomore.
Only a sophomore, true sophomore, not a redshirt.
He's not. It was kind of surprising, but I see a great future coming from him. Then Charlie McKnight and Harry O'Connor, Austin Dillon, myself, and Adam Willis, the only senior on the 7 running in state.
Out to the flat. It's going to be a gain on that play. Nice tackle over there. Let's see. That's number.
What a hit.
Is that number 17 again?
Jake Johnson
Jake
tearing
Johnson.
it up.
Boy, he is all over the field. Going to bring up a down and distance. Give him a little cushion on that. because didn't want to give up a ton of yards when it was 2nd and 15, so gave up about half of it there. So now 3rd and 7. Remember to follow WCAT on Twitter. And how do you follow them, J. Paul?
Well, basically, you go into your Twitter website, you just type in @Westminster WCAT, click follow, you see all our tweets. We tweet updates about the games, about championships, wins, losses, other games around the state. Anything that's going on that's tweet worthy.
Oh, it's a low snap, hit the ground. He's going to roll left. Now he's rolling right.
Oh.
Geese is out there. There's nobody in front of him. If he ran, he overthrows as intended.
Again.
Oh, man, he had a lot of ground in front of him, that quarterback. But he was trying to get it out there. That quarterback was Henderson, Kyle Henderson, a senior. But looked like all we had was Justin Geese over there, who's I don't think on the track team is a sprinter. But if he had kind of made that corner there, Jack, and you can see it from up here, it looked like he had some room to run. But the Cats bent a little bit right there but didn't break.
Yeah, that was a lucky break for the Wildcats. If Henderson had maybe taken it, he could have gotten the 7 or 8 yards for the first down, but tried to get the pass over top. It looked like Nigel Edmonds or Nigel Walker on the coverage, and the pass was just way too far.
It's going to be a little end around. It's a fumble by the Cats, and he gets on top of it. That's number 19. We tried to get it from Cole Haverty over to Conrad Cornell, and he flipped it to him, but
a little too high.
A little too high, and we got the ball 1st and 10 Cats, our ball on the 42, and I tell you, that's enough to give me my 3rd major coronary right there, J. Paul.
Exactly. But Conrad Cornell did a great job of getting back on that ball there. Jake Johnson's really standing out tonight. He had a big 20-yard reception down the field in that first touchdown drive by Connor Bennett. We also had 2 big tackles getting the Pepperell Dragons off the field in 3, and just really doing a great job tonight.
All right, we've got a packed crowd here on the Pepperell side. This is the thing to do tonight in Pepperell. We're going to hand it off this time to Cameron Seward. He's going to go around that left side, both hands on that football, and gained about 4 or 5 yards. Good first down run there by number 8, Cameron Seward.
And that's really important to get that foundation. You get 4, 5, 6 yards. You got a lot to work with. You could maybe throw a pass on 2nd down and still be safe to get a short little run on 3rd down to finish it off. But Coach Romberg making some nice play calls, getting the guys up the field, and once again on defense, his play calls have been very nice.
50 seconds to go here in the first quarter, clock ticking. And we're going to fake that handoff play action. Jake's going to roll right. He's got a guy deep. He's got him wide open. Oh, and he dropped it. He tried to get the ball to Conrad Cornell. He was too open, and it went right into his hands, and he dropped it. It's one of those things, Jack, when you try to do something, you're so wide open, you just can't do it because you got too much time to think about it. I do it all the time, and that's why I hit the car with my garage. But that time, Conrad Cornell unable to bring it in.
Yeah, that's a tough break right there. He watched it in, but he was really thinking about watching it in and took his mind off what he had to do. He was just thinking about the wide open space he had between him and the goal line for that touchdown.
But unfortunately, and Jake did his job. He underthrew it a little bit. Got a little flag, and we got a flag and a penalty on Pepperell. Again, that is going to be a personal foul, I believe, roughing the quarterback. And going to bring it as an automatic first down at their 40. So we got 15 yards of that. I think we would have had very close to 6. Conrad would have been in a foot race if he was able to corral it. So it takes a little bit of a sting off of that. Sometimes when you fall down and your mom asks you if you're okay and she gives you a cookie, it makes you feel just a little bit better there, J. Paul.
That's a nice little cookie that we got right there at that 15-yard penalty. They're into Pepperell territory. Jake drops back with a nice screen
with
pass to
Connor Bennett out in the middle. He's our scorer tonight, and he fell down, and we got a late flag. Laundry on the 32 and the 20. And Connor kind of slipped. He made the cut on the grass field, Jack, but unable to maintain, and I believe we're going to have a penalty right in the area of where the Cats are holding. Yep.
Robert Howell's man might have been pushed down or held a little bit, so it looks like that might be on number 73. Back for another 10 yards, and it will remain
first down.
Second down.
It'll be first down. That penalty was at the 32. I think they're going to mark it off from there. So they're going to bring it back to the 40, or seriously, 33 to the 43. So it'll be 1st and 13. That 7 yards we gained kind of negates to a great degree that penalty. But Connor really had some room there, Jack.
Yeah, he was looking for that open space, which he found on that first run, his touchdown run earlier. He tried to make a couple cuts, and as you said, the grass, as it gets...
Oh, we got a ball on the ground. Jake picks it up. He's going to try to run around the left side, and he falls down at the 50. Tried to hand it off to Kyle Murphy, man in motion, and didn't get in there. That's the 2nd or 3rd time the Cats have fumbled tonight. lost it one time with Cameron, third time tonight, once on that punt, and that time we lose another 7 yards. Boy, we got to get a little bit more tighter on that. So Cats are going to end the quarter up 7 with the ball looking at a 2nd and long at the 50-yard line. Okay, we'll take a little bit of break here, J. Paul, and we're going to play a video, weekly news, and we'll be back in a second.
I'm Taylor Bremer. And I'm Catherine Foley, and you're watching WCAT's Weekly News. The assembly today is the Thanksgiving service. I'm sure you all look very spiffy in your dress-up attire. And tonight we will have a varsity football game at Pepperell.
Jake Johnson. Now he's going to swing it out to Cameron Seward's got a little bit of space. Nice block going east-west now. And falls down to the 20, call it the 16. Very close to the first. Jake to Cameron, well-designed play. So as we begin the second quarter, Cats up 7-0. We've scored on one drive, 3 big plays in that drive. One, a 25-yard pass from Jake Forty to Jake Johnson on an out pattern. Then a swing pass to McLean Bradley, another 15, 20 yards. And then a run in by about 20, 25 yards from Connor Bennett. So spreading it around. And then our defense, of course, able to hold. We fumbled the ball 3 times so far tonight. And the Cat defense able to really hold them to no yardage. Cameron Seward right up the middle, falling forward inside the 10 to about the 8. So that was 2nd and 1. So that will be 1st and goal for the Cats. So Cats really defensively, Ben Ladner, really showing up tonight. They've had 2 first downs inside our 25, and both sequences ended up turning the ball over on downs, not having or not electing to go for a field goal when it would have been about a 35-yarder, and Cats able to hold that entire time. So Cat defense really showing up tonight. And here comes the offense. We're running up the middle. This time Cameron Seward gets about 6. So Keller, good start so far, the Cats tonight.
Well, Bill, we've been able to move the ball offensively, as you mentioned, with those 3 big plays. Connor Bennett finally putting it away for the Cats. And we've also been very strong defensively. We thought that Pepperell's offensive line would be a little bit too much for the Cats, but we've been able to do well against the run. We've had a couple tackles for loss. Obviously, we had that long play, but Nigel Walker was able to save that touchdown, which ultimately led to a turnover on downs. The Cats drive down the field.
So we have fumbled. Cameron Seward fumbled once, one punt fumble, which we didn't lose, and then another fumble. And but so one fumble that's turning off. Jake's going to roll right. I didn't really get. No, he did get the corner that time. Jake looking for people and throws it deep into the end zone. Incomplete. Trying to get Otley, I believe. 22.
Was
that Jake?
Bridges,
49. Yep.
Tight end.
All right. So with 8:52, Ben Ladner, Cats so far now. That was a nice pass because that pass could have only gone to Joe Bridges or it was going to fall incomplete.
Yeah. Jake Forty put his receiver in a position where it was either going to be thrown away, like you said, or it would come in as a touchdown for Westminster. Good play call on 2nd down for the bootleg. So if you don't get it, you still have one more down on 3rd down to punch it in for the touchdown.
Yeah, and sometimes this is a good athletic team, and sometimes we play good athletic teams that are great skill guys. These are great linemen, huge kids. We're going to burn one here, a little disorganized. So on a 3rd and goal from the ball at the 7, we're going to burn one. They've got 3 or 4 kids that have 300 pounds on them, and that's the burden or the trouble that we've got going tonight. So far, so good. Clay Smith, Justin Giza, those guys inside, Austin Chapman and others really doing a good job on that interior line. All right, I'm going to throw it to Daniel Searle for a second. Daniel, what do you got over there?
Bill, thanks so much. Thanks, guys. Just want to talk to our viewers for a minute. We appreciate your patience with our technical difficulties throughout the first quarter. We are streaming live now, and you'll be able to watch the full game on demand and catch that touchdown from the first quarter later on this evening. So back to you guys. Go Cats.
Yep, and that was Connor Bennett, was a senior, running up that middle from Ridgewood Road. You ever see that road, Ben Ladner?
I do. I actually live very close to Ridgewood. I live just off Nancy Creek.
Yeah.
Which
nice
intersects with Nancy Creek, intersects with Ridgewood. And I live on Rivermead, which is just off Nancy Creek. So
beautiful area.
Who knew Connor Bennett and I were neighbors?
Who knew? Who knew Keller? And Keller, boy, that was a great cross-country meet that we had last weekend. Boys really stepped it up. We had Jack Bondron on earlier, but really tremendous performance by those cross-country cats.
And Jack was telling me earlier that he finished 13th in the state overall, and that was actually 5th on our team. So when you have 5 guys in the top 13.
All right, Jake's going to swing it out to Cameron, falling incomplete. And so we'll probably see the magical toe of 82 running onto the field. The ball sitting on the 7-yard line and being 4th and 7. And here he comes. So we're going to try to make this a 2-score game. Try to set up that little interior screen to Cameron Seward. But the ball falling incomplete, slap at his hands. Number of drop passes tonight. Cold night tonight. And that's really kind of affected play early. Had one go incomplete right through the hands of the intended receivers for the Cats. So let's see if Harrison can make this a 2-score game. He's kicking off the grass. The senior, 82, looking at it pretty much from straight on, almost an extra point. Decent snap. It's down, it's off. And it is good. 82. Harrison Butker, nice kick there. With that, the Cats go up 10-0 in this single elimination GHSA state tournament. Good start for the Cats tonight, Ben Ladner.
Yeah, well, Keller and I mentioned it in the pregame. The Wildcats have won their first-round playoff game in 5 of the past 6 years. So it's looking good for us tonight. And hopefully the defense can do what they've been doing all game, which is good, solid defense, especially inside the red zone, and stopping those quarterbacks and running backs behind the line.
And, Ben, that's a very strong field goal for Harrison Butker, putting us up 2 scores. Obviously, the Dragons can get a little bit going offensively, so we need as many points early on as we possibly can. But our defense has been playing stout tonight. Just look for Butker to put another one through the end zone, Bill.
Yep, and these kids, we're playing Pepperell, the Pepperell Dragons. They've got a running back, got 1,100 yards. They got those big linemen. They run it most of the time. They've got an average of running of 220 or so yards a game, only 90 passing. So this is, don't try to trick you. Try to just run right over you. And so far, our defensive line of Clay Smith and all those big kids, Justin Gies, are really holding their own. And if we can continue to do that, and that's a big if, we're going to have hopefully come out in the top end of this battle. All right, Harrison Butker, catching his breath, can approach the ball, kick it. And it is a low kick. Usually doesn't kick it like that, and it's gone. All right, so he's kicked off twice tonight on our 2 scores. So we will be getting the ball as we start the second half. So that's 35 kicks coming to this game now, 37. 32 out of 37 through the end zone, Ben Ladner. I could do that. I know you could do that. No big deal, right?
Yeah, really impressive stat for Harrison Butker. And as you saw, the kickoff team running all the way through the end zone there. It looked like Davis Houck and Cole Haverty had a tie for first place. Looks like they kind of had a race there to see who gets there first.
Well, you got to work on your cardio there, Keller.
Well, Bill, we've seen multiple times in the games before this one where the kick return man just stands on the goal line and watches the ball go straight over his head. And that's just another one where kick returner has no chance.
All right, double tight end. They're going to fake it to Ben Davenport, try to go pick on Jake Johnson, and they throw it out of bounds, I believe. Yep, incomplete. Jake Johnson right there, number 17. He is on an island. He's our Revis in front of their bench, and he plays single coverage, and he's a really good athlete, number 17. Jake Johnson, you know Jake. He's always talking, always the center of attention. Always just, it's a circus around that kid.
Yeah, hardly. He's also a stellar baseball player, too, and as you mentioned, a lockdown corner for Westminster. Good job for him. He always guards the other team's best receiver, and, you know, he takes that responsibility quite seriously and does a great job of guarding those guys.
Outstanding young man, outstanding kid, quiet young man, and I was being a little facetious. He is an outstanding person, and I was able to coach him one year in basketball, and it's just a treat to be around. They're going to hand it off to Davenport. Going to string him out. What a play there by Nelson Douglas.
And Clay Smith.
Nelson holding his ground against that big tight end, able to kind of turn him in, and then Clay Smith finishing the business. And Giza snapping Nelson Douglas, and there's Nigel. Boy, what a great, and there's Clay running off the field, but what a great play by 16 there, Ben Ladner.
Yeah, Nelson Douglas has made a multitude of plays here tonight. He's had a lot of big tackles, as you saw there. One of his, I believe, 2 tackles for losses tonight. And he's also doing a great job of tackling the receivers after they catch the ball for little to no gain.
All right, Nigel here now on the island. Jake, I believe, on the other side. They got everybody in, 2 tight ends. They're going to fake the pass, play action. And a little swing pass, picked off. That's Harrison Woodward. He's going to take it in. Number 48, the middle linebacker. Pick it off and knowing what to do. Boom, shakalaka.
Yeah, Harrison Woodward caught a touchdown for the Wildcats last week, and now he returns one off an interception this week. Great play by the senior. making his final playoff run this season, and boy, he's really having a good time with it.
Well, Bill, Cameron Stewart came in on that outside linebacker blitz and jumped up, almost tipped that ball. Luckily for the Wildcats, Harrison Woodward able to sniff it out off that play-action pass. We know they're not really going to throw the ball that deep, so we're expecting everybody to come in. Harrison Woodward just making a great play there.
Boy, the Cats up 16-0 at 7:43 here in the second. Big pick by 48, catching it on that east-west little screen, stepping in front, trying to lob it over his head. He got up. Boy, he hops, and, in about 20 years, he's going to say he jumped 4 or 5 feet. Snap is good. Kick is off, and it is good. And Harrison Butker kicks it through. Cats go up 17-0 on that pickoff by Harrison Woodward, number 48. He's played big all year. He's our leading tackler. And now in the state playoffs, when it's time to make big plays, he stepped up and he did it.
Well, Bill, this is what we need out of our senior leaders. Harrison Woodward, Harrison Butker, Joe Bridges, all those guys. We need them to step up big in these playoff games. As Ben mentioned, this is their last chance at going deep in the playoffs. This is really special for these guys, and they've been able to step up well. We've had Connor Bennett, a senior, scoring a touchdown. Harrison Butker, senior, making that field goal. And then Harrison Woodward scoring that touchdown there. So all seniors who have scored tonight for the Cats, Ben.
All right, we're going to take the station break, and we'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Ed Helms, and you're watching WCAT.
That's Ed Helms, an avid follower of WCAT.
And a Westminster alumni.
Yeah, and of The Office fame. And, it's a back-scratching thing. We watch The Office, and he watches WCAT.
Exactly.
Fair deal,
It goes both ways,
yeah.
and we both love each other equally.
Everybody it's a love fest here.
He actually did an assembly.
Yeah, at Westminster last year, came in. I attended that, and great time. Harrison Butker averaging 69.4 yards per kick. Kicks it high and deep and gone. That one's through the end zone, and so now he is 33 of 38, averaging nearly 70 yards a kick. And again, for those who haven't seen someone kick 70 yards, it's an amazing thing. It's similar. I like to go to the airport and sometimes just watch the planes take off. All right, so let's look at the brackets real quick. We'll get you educated on how the GHSA playoffs are working. Cats tonight, if you can see in the lower left-hand corner of your screen, playing Pepperell, and the winner of this game will play the winner of the Jefferson-Kendrick game. And this is the top half of the bracket. Let's go to the game here first, and then we'll come back and we'll show you the rest of the bracket. Can hand it off an interior run. Cats stepped it up pretty good. Clay Smith, Justin Giza. Who else in there? A bunch of other. Joe Bridges in there. Jake Johnson. All right, back to the brackets. Bottom half, you see Greater Atlanta Christian down there. Going to play Modell. And a bunch of other guys. Number 1 seed is on the right-hand part of the bottom half of the bracket. That's it's in the upper right-hand. That's Calhoun, number 1 seed in the entire AA state bracket. And then Lovett's in the bottom right. So we're nowhere near Calhoun, luckily. But we just got to take it a game at a time. Their quarterback's going to roll left. Got good penetration. Clay Smith back there, and then he throws it out of bounds into our bench. Nice catch
by Coach
our
Darling.
Coach over there. You see that catch over there, Ben Leonard?
Yeah, Coach Darling made a nice play over there. He just came to him, stayed calm and collected, and fielded that ball. Also, back to that bracket.
Yep.
We'll try and keep you viewers updated throughout the night on those scores if we can, to keep you
Do we have
aware of what's going
WCAT
on.
reporters stationed throughout the state?
We should.
It's a great idea. Maybe we could
Maybe we can do that.
talk to Daniel Searle about that
unlimited
one.
budget, unlimited. All right. Then quickly back to the region standings and how we got here. Show you that real quick. Love it. 4-0 in our region, beating everybody. Just beating GAC last week. And then Westminster behind them at 2-2. Then Wesley and then Hayfield Charter. So that's how we got into the state playoffs. 3rd seed from 6AA. And back to the action. 3rd and long. Quarterback's going to do an option. No, it's an end around. Tons of pursuit. And we're knocked down. It looks like we got to get to the 30, and they're going to get that first. Just at the 30. Finally tackled by number 16. They took advantage of our over-pursuing that time, Keller. Nice call by them, and they get the ball out just enough for the first.
And, Bill, that was an aggressive play call. We've seen them doing that all night, going for 2 4th downs in the red zone. That was a great 3 4th downs in the red zone.
Actually, that was 3rd down. Pardon me.
And so we've
but they got enough. They got about 10 yards, 11 yards in that play, and just enough for that first.
And all our guys were going right with the option, and then that receiver came in from the slot and just took the ball and ran all the way around.
Yep, and they really did. Nice, well-constructed play. Now they're going to look to throw it. They don't like to throw it. Now our guys got to get out there. They throw a little pass over everybody's head, and they get enough perhaps to get another first down, just at the first down marker at the 41. Again, that's their quarterback, Kyle Henderson, and he threw it to Landon Brooks there, Keller.
And Bill, Landon Brooks is their leading receiver. As Ben and I mentioned in the pregame, he has 219 yards receiving and 3 touchdowns on 21 receptions this year, so that'll be his 22nd reception of the year, getting about to 225 yards. And when this Pepperell team does pass, they like to go to him a lot.
Can you not hear me?
So here comes Pepperell up to the line. Hopefully the Westminster defense can do more of the same that we saw in the red zone earlier and get some stops here on first, second, and third down and force a punt out of Pepperell.
6:23 here to go in the second. Quarterback now in the gun. They're down 17-0. We bring the blitz from the corners. We got this one bottled up pretty good. They're going to lose on that completed pass. Back to the 38-yard line on the coverage there. For the catch, that was number 43, who was the leading tackler. I believe that was Ross Johnson from the...
Cameron Seward was also in there.
Yeah, the defensive lineman wasn't fooled, kind of saw the guy standing there. And all their passes so far, Ben Ladner, have been kind of small, kind of swing pass stuff.
Yeah, they've gone for a few deep balls, but they haven't really worked out, so they've resorted to the short to medium gain passes there. And we saw one work earlier to the leading receiver, but Westminster did a great job on that last one of wrapping them up.
All right, they're looking now at a 2nd and 13. Ball sitting back on their 38-yard line. They were knocking on our door twice. We're blitzing a whole bunch of guys. Cameron's in there. Who else is in there? Bunch of guys
Allen.
chasing this guy. Joe Bridges trying to get him. Clay Smith, and we got him back down after he slips at the 27. Loss of about 10 on the play. Let's call it actually 13 or 14. Cameron Seward back there. Joe Bridges. Boy, it was like trying to corral a chicken in a chicken coop. He was running around holding the ball out. And finally, Keller, I think he slipped on that dirt field and went down.
Well, Bill, it's very cold out here tonight. Obviously losing his footing there. We had Sam Allen, Joe Bridges coming in on the pursuit around. Finally, Cass is able to bring him down.
And what I liked about the defense on that play is we came at him from both sides. We didn't just try to run at him from his blind side or from right in front of him. We got Joe Bridges on his blind side and then Sam Allen on his left, in front of him. So we had him from both sides, and he had nowhere to go.
3rd and 23, ball sitting on the 27. They got to get across the 50. They got Hayes Meyer playing very deep. Quarterback's going to try to set up a little pass, and he's now looking for something to do, and he finally turns around, throws it away, way away, outside the Pepperell fans the loyal fans are becoming a little upset. And with that, the Cats are going to be back to receive a punt. They're going to have to punt from their own 27. So with 5:40 to go in the state playoff game, right now Pepperell's struggling a little bit, but this is really the opportunity and the time that we've got to step up, Keller. When you got a team that's struggling a little bit, they haven't really made any changes yet at halftime, we've got to take control of this game right now.
Well, Bill, on every play in that series, Kyle Henderson, their quarterback, was out of the pocket within 3 seconds. So our defense is putting a lot of pressure on him, not letting him go through his progressions and find an open man downfield.
We got the block on, came in, and there's nobody back there. Cole will catch it, fair catch at the 50. The 49. I guess there's not a 51, is there, Ben? All right, we're going to flip it real quick to Daniel Searle. Daniel, what do you got over there?
Just want to send a shout-out to everybody following us on Twitter, watching the game right now. Caleb Jones, Scotty Jones, and the Jones family. Go Cats, right? Caleb, using your dad's Twitter, doing a great job. Ralph David Abernathy out there also following the Cats. Have you guys talked about him already?
Oh, no.
RDA at Cincy having an incredible season himself.
Usually the
entire Cats tonight.
Entire third quarter we'll be talking about RDA.
Fantastic career.
Gary Jones is out there, and of course, never forget the famous Rick Hughes. Oh, that's a McLean Bradley putting a little RDA moves on him there, getting across the 50 to about the 48. And Daniel, any other esteemed people?
A couple more people to mention. Jay Watts trying to follow a little bit of the Cats on the web feed here. So shout out to all of the teachers, coaches, and
James
Westminster
Perry,
people who didn't make the ride up here but are following.
James Perry, very loyal viewer of WCAT, along with his wife Angela. They every week tell me everything I could do better. the following week. So appreciate that out of James.
I think that list is pretty short.
Yeah, Jake 40 back to pass, trying to go look at deep, and he's going to throw it on the left side line to Jake Johnson, incomplete. Was kind of thrown away there, Ben Ladder. Good decision there on a 2nd and 7.
Yeah, it looked like a little bit of a broken play. He looked like he had Johnson on an earlier route, but it was well covered. So Jake tried to get open by trying to make another move, but it just wasn't there. So 40 made the smart decision, not trying to force anything, but just throw it away.
All right, so with 3rd down now, ball sitting on the 48, almost in field goal range for the Westminster Wildcats. And Cats, again, up 17-0, scored on a run by Connor Bennett, field goal by Harrison Butker, and then that pick 6 by Harrison Woodward. So Harrison and Connor Bennett, they bring a bunch of guys up the middle. Jake's going to try to get it back over there to Jake Johnson, complete, but I don't think he gained anything, maybe lost 3 on it. So back to the original line of scrimmage, and the Cat, that was a dangerous pass there across field, and perhaps better not to throw that one, but Keller, nice defense there by the Dragons.
Yeah, it was Curtis Klimke in there making the solid tackle and forcing the Cats to punt here. It was a great coverage. You have to give that one to them. They covered the screen pass well, and as soon as Jake touched that ball, Curtis Klimke was all over him.
All over him. Now Harrison Butker, big 4 minutes left here in the second quarter. We got to stop them, and it's a big momentum time period for them. They bring the house, and Harrison gets it off. High kick. Calling for a fair catch back at the 5. We'll let him have a fair catch at the 5, and he does it. Maybe that was better decision there to let that bounce, but regardless, good break for the Cats. So with 4:06 to go here in the second, they've got one more shot at a 17-0 game. This is where the Cats, knowing that we're going to get the ball to begin the third quarter, Ben, this is a big 4 minutes.
Yeah, the Westminster defense really needs to hold strong here, as they have been the whole game, and hopefully take this 17-0 lead into the half with them. That's a big momentum booster coming into the second half. You mentioned we get the ball to start, so I expect nothing less than a stop here from Westminster.
Come up here to Pepperell. I highly suggest that you have the hamburger, cheeseburger at the stands, not having the pizza. That's just me. All right, they're going to fake the throw, and they run the same guy every time. That's number 24, their back, Davenport, Ben Ladner, and he runs up the middle. And so with 3:53 clock ticking, it's going to bring up a second and about 6.
Yeah, we came into the game talking about Davenport, how he had over 1,000 yards on the season. But so far tonight, he's really just had that one big run. Westminster's really done a good job of wrapping him up at the line, stopping him for short gains instead of those long breakoffs like we saw him do one time.
Pepperell gains their yards by pounding away on the interior. They're going to run him up the middle, boy, and we just brought a corner linebacker in there. That was Cameron Seward coming in and making the tackle. And so the Cats now are thinking offense because they're now back down to their original line. Timeout on the field, timeout Cats. So we're going to burn our second one here. And with 17-0 lead and 3:22 to go, Keller, I think this is a good move.
Well, Bill, we're trying to conserve as much time as possible right now. They're backed up against their own end zone, so if we get a punt, say at about the 50, and the way our offense has been working well tonight, we can hopefully move the ball down the 50 yards and score a touchdown before this last 3 minutes goes out.
All right, got Jack Schlafly, who is going to be available at halftime to bring you back up to speed on all the comings and goings of the junior high, as well as other sporting events going on at Westminster. We call that the Schlafly Report, and that will be coming way at halftime here today. And that's always a treat, Keller, because Jack really, as I've always said, is going to be running the world one day. Again, 3 big plays for the Cats on our touchdown drive. It was the pass to Jake Johnson, swing pass to McLean Bradley, and that run by Connor Bennett, number 28, the senior, taking it in, leaning forward and getting into that end zone. And then that nice drive down there, kind of a lot of singles on that if I mix my sports there, and followed by a Harrison Woodward kick, and then a pick 6 by
Bucker?
Harrison Butker, that's a good call. And then a pick 6 by Harrison Woodward, picking off a kind of a short screen pass and taking it in for a touchdown. So 3rd and 9, they're going to fake it and roll right in his end zone. He's deep. He's going to try to go deep. We got it well covered. We got 2 guys, and he throws it out of bounds. So they're in a punting formation.
Oh, they thlew a flag.
They threw a flag.
Late flag at that.
Very late flag at the 43. Oh, my goodness. The ball had been out of bounds.
Jake never turned around. He was just...
And the ball was 5 yards deep on their end zone. Excuse me, on their sideline. It was almost hitting the table.
Well, Jake never turned around, so that's why I think that referee threw the flag. He came over and he
But it was an uncatchable ball. The white hat is talking to the black hat, and they're saying pass interference on the Cats. All right, no squabble out of the Cats. I guess you're right. The technique wasn't right. So it's going to be a first down now for Pepperell.
And they'll get the ball on about the 40 or on the 21-yard line.
Yep.
So all the way back against the wall now at their own 20 with 3:13 to go.
And it was a great play by that quarterback to throw it up because, nothing. It's just like a punt there, Ben Ladner. You might as well just go for it.
Yeah, and it was either intercepted or caught or a penalty was going to fly, and that's what happened. So unfortunately, it goes against the Wildcats. Looked like Jake Johnson and Hazemeyer didn't really understand why the referee threw it, and neither did we. But that's how it goes. So Wildcats are just going to have to battle back from that one.
Yep. All right. So a timeout on the field. Cats are going to burn their last one, up 17 with 3:13 to go, and you can see our banner there, WCAT and www.westminster.net/WCAT. We're going to take a station break, and we'll be right back.
I'm Jerry Romberg, head football coach of the Westminster Wildcats, and you're watching WCAT.
All right, we're back. If you go to Twitter and you follow us, Westminster WCAT, we'll try to give you a shout-out here tonight. We're up to over 1 million people. It's us and Kuchar. What's the guy's name? Kuchar?
Matt Kuchar.
Yeah, it's who's the celebrity married to Demi Moore? Used to be?
Ashton Kutcher.
Ashton Kutcher, yeah.
Ashton Kutcher.
He's got millions. We've got millions. It's a battle for number one. Mm-hmm. And so I don't know if we can name everybody, consider it's now in the, so many people. But we'll try to name as many people as we possibly can.
We have the same thought, Matt Kuchar.
You can both say Matt Kuchar.
The golfer.
The golfer. Yeah. Well, that's good. 3:13 to go here in the second. Cats trying to hold them right where we got them. They're going to do an end around, and they're going to try to do a triple end around. They get it to the quarterback. He's now at his own goal line. He's going to try to throw it, holding it out like a loaf of bread. We got a lot of guys. He's going to throw it out to number 2, and we tackle him. We hit him right, and it's incomplete. It was intended for number 2, about the 27-yard line, and Cameron Seward came up and gave him a well-timed pop, tried to get it to Alex Rickman, the junior, but Cameron, beautiful play by Seward, number 8.
Wow, Cameron Seward came in there Dante Robinson style and just laid the wood on him right there. Great hit, preventing him from catching the ball, preventing the gain, and possibly taking him out of the game. We hope he's not too shaken up.
No, I think that kid's tough. He's tougher than a $2 steak, caller.
What is a $2 steak?
You don't want one. It's tough, let me tell you. 2nd and 10, ball sitting at the 21, 2:58. They keep doing these end arounds and trying to get them space to their quarterback. And it seems like there are players lying on the ground all over the field. He was back at his own goal line. He was 20 yards back, 20 yards over. Now he's going to run left this time. Joe Bridges trying to contain him, had his paws up, and it was defended by Jake Johnson going incomplete. So it's going to bring up now a 3rd and 10, 2:50. And on these incompletions, Ben, the clock's not ticking too much, so the Cats might have an opportunity here.
You're right. We may be able to go with the 2-minute drill and march down the field, at least get a field goal. And it looks like right here, assuming we can stop them on 3rd and 10, that the Wildcats are going to be able to battle back from that penalty and prove it to be harmful.
Yep.
I mean, harmless.
Harmless. Yeah, okay. All right, Keller, what do you got?
Well, Bill, you mentioned that their quarterback's been running around back at his own goal line. You would think that with these large offensive linemen, they would be able to block for him a little bit better, but we just have the speed coming off the edge, and they haven't really been able to adapt to our corner blitzes and strong safety blitzes coming around the sides.
Yep, and what you want to do with a running team, too, is you want to get them in a hole so they start to have to pass a lot. He's going to throw it intended for a receiver. Even if he caught it, he's going to be shy. So at the 28, he's got to get to 31, so it's going to be 4th and 3. Nice foot positioning there by that receiver to get one in, dragging out at the 28-yard line. So the punt return team was going to come in for the Cats with 2:42, and the clock stopped. They're going to look at a 4th and 3, and nice defense there by the Cats after that penalty by Jake Johnson. So back to receive will be the sophomore Cole Haverty, standing at his own 42-yard line. The kicker is their quarterback, so keep that in mind for trick plays and the like.
Henderson.
And bringing a lot of guys in. try to get our hands on it, and fair catch called for. So we're going to 1st and 10 at our 48-yard line. Nice job so far this year by that sophomore, Cole Haverty. Did a great job, Ben Lander.
Yeah, he started out the season a little bit shaky, and Chuck Easley mentioned it. Another one of our broadcasters does a great job. He mentioned it earlier in the season how he'd like to see Haverty square his shoulders up more downfield, and that's definitely what he's done. He's adapted, and he started off with a few muffed punts, but he hasn't had any since about the 3rd or 4th game. So he's done a great job, and he's even gotten a few long returns, as his longest return this season is 20 yards. So he's done a great job of recovering from a shaky start.
Yep, and I love the fact how we stuck with him. He had a little bit of a shaky start, and we're going to run in this first play, picking his way up that left side. We got a holding penalty probably at the 50. I believe that's Connor Bennett trying to from his that's Connor Bennett, 28 on the run out to the 45, looks up, sees a flag, and says, oh, darn it. So that's probably going to come back. So the clock has momentarily stopped with 2:36 to go here in the second. Hold, says the white hat, on the Cats. Flag is at the 49. So it would be a 1st and about 19. Cats have called another play, and we're breaking huddle. Trying to do it real quickly, like doing the pros when there's they're waiting on the replay. You know what I mean? They run up and they try to that the guys in the booth can't signal down fast enough. So even though it was going to be 2nd and 5, Cats sticking with the same play. So 2:36, Jake in the gun, 2 right, 1 left, 1 in the slot next to him. He's got the tight end on his right side. Jake's going to look to throw it. No penetration. Now some. Jake rolling right, using the wheels. He's got a man, and he's complete, I believe.
No, he dropped it.
He dropped it. Tried to get it over there, I believe, to 22, Chris Otley, right about the 42. He tried to stretch out and keep those feet in there, and unable to corral it and bring it in. So with 2:23 to go, we've got to get about 15 yards to get into field goal range. It's now 2nd and 19 from the 40. We got enough time here, Keller, but we've got to move the ball.
Well, Bill, as you mentioned, we have 2:23 left to go, but facing a 2nd and 19 is not really the situation that we want to be in. We're going to hand it off to Connor, just going with a conservative game plan.
Hold on to that ball, Connor. Connor's, boy, they can't get him down. Boy, he is a tough young man, just like that $2 steak we talked about. So the ball's sitting on the 40. They've got 2 timeouts they could use, but they're not. So 3rd down now at about 16, ball on the 42. Got to get to their 42. Some symmetry in that there, Ben Lander.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
42 to 42, sort of a balancing deal there. Again, Rick Hughes sitting in that palatial estate over West Georgia. Ever get a chance to go over there, you'll see it when you drive by way up on that hill. Jake 40 in the gun. Going to look to throw it. Got a man over the middle. Oh, right through the hands of Kyle Murphy and incomplete. Kyle was open over the middle. Got a little alligator arms there because he saw the linebacker. And Keller fell incomplete. So it brings up 4th down, and we're going to have to kick it. So we've done a couple of flip-flops here, but with a minute 40 to go, Harrison's going to kick it to number 2. Good to see him back.
Well, Bill, I thought that we were going to let the clock run down as far as possible and then run the play. So that way, if it was an incomplete pass, Pepperell wouldn't have as much time as they would to make some sort of a drive. But Cats went with it, and it's incomplete, so now Butker's going to have to punt away.
17-0 Cats. 2 touchdowns. We moved. We flinched. Probably not the worst penalty in the world. We drive us back 5 yards. So with a minute 40, it's going to be another 5 yards probably on the Harrison Butker punting stats if he kicks us into the end zone. So the ball will be back at the 37. Harrison, a lot of respect for Harrison Butker. He's receiving this punt on his own 15, so he's expecting a 48-yard punt.
He needs to go a little bit further back.
From Harrison Butker, and that's a lot of respect that they're giving the magical toe of 82. Butker standing on his own 25 and awaiting the snap. No, it's a fake play. Getting handed off the 20, and he's tackled. Fake play. Is he down? I don't think he's down. Still grinding. No, we ran a fake play on 4th and 25. Handed the ball off to Hayes Meyer, I believe. Or was it number 40?
No, it was Hayes Meyer.
Hayes Meyer, and Hayes tried to run it kind of across. He got the up snap, so now they have 1st and 10 at R39 with a minute 32 to go. Cats now have to dig down deep and stay in control of this game, Bedlander.
Yeah, and although that was a bit of a risky play, it just shows the confidence and the faith that Coach Romberg has in his defense. knowing they haven't given up any points this half, and he knows and hopes that that trend.
I think they were counting too. They had been sending the house every time on these. They're going to try to throw out in the flat, and they complete it down to about the 34, and we tackle them, and they're probably going to have to burn 1 minute 22. They're going to try to go quick. They've got the board shows that they've got 2 timeouts, gained about 5 or 6 on that play, down to the 34-yard line. Again, they've been down at our 20 a couple times and have elected not to kick a field goal on 4th down. One time 4th and 8, pardon me. So I think they've got to get in field goal range inside that. All right, clock ticking now inside a minute. 2nd and about 6. Looking to throw again onto the flat. Got a guy, 7-yard lines. We knock him out of bounds. That's Joe Bridges knocking him out. They're shy of the first, so it's going to bring up a 3rd and 2 at the 31. 50 seconds to go. Risky play on that fake punt there, Ben Ladner.
Yeah, it was. We talked about it, but it
was a risky play if you don't get it.
I think again it just shows the confidence that Coach Romberg has in his defense. And it's 2nd and 2. This is a huge play here. They really need to get a stop here, break through that offensive line, put pressure on the quarterback. 3rd and 2.
3rd and 2. Ball sitting at the 31-yard line. 50 seconds to go here, Keller. You were looking at a stat there. What do you got in those stats?
Well, it's actually that Harrison Bucker averages 42.9 yards per punt. So the
quarterback back, running around. He's going to throw it deep and high. Got a couple of guys back there, and we bat it, and it's incomplete. A couple of guys in the defense. That's Hayes Meyer and Nigel Walker, both back there. And you saw Hayes Meyer coming across with that right hand and batting it down. Great job by number 20 and number 33, Hayes Meyer and Nigel. Big defensive plays there on really almost a Hail Mary there, Ben, into the end zone.
Yeah, another great play by Nigel Walker. We saw him in the first quarter. Well, maybe you didn't see it with our technical difficulties, but in the first quarter, Nigel Walker had what was almost an interception in the back of the end zone on 4th down, and it ended up ending the drive for Pepperell. And it looks like they're going to go for it this time. So maybe Nigel Walker will make it. No, he's not on the field.
Yep,
maybe another defensive
4th and 2. They got
play.
A full house. They got everybody in. They're going to run it over that left side, and he's got enough for the first. This is Davenport, and he's down around the 22.
Reed and Amnoon bringing him down.
So with 35 seconds to go, they're at the 22. They're knocking on the door. They're going to stop the clock momentarily while they move the chains. The board again showing that they've got 2 timeouts. They're at the 22-yard line. I think they're going to just spike it here.
Well, the clock is stopped, so...
Yeah, while they move the chains, now they'll start it and they'll spike it. Now, again, the board shows 2 timeouts, so they shouldn't be in that much of a hurry, and perhaps they could have run a play there. So with 32 seconds, actually 32.9 seconds, let's get that right. Dragons trailing 17-0 now, but Ben knocking on the door, all on the heels of that fake field goal, or fake punt, and this is the furthest they've gotten into our territory since the very beginning of the game.
Yeah, we mentioned throughout the broadcast the Westminster red zone defense and just short field defense has been outstanding so far this season. So hopefully we'll get the same thing this time as it's 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10, high snap. Quarterback dancing around that corner, trying to look for somebody, going to throw it, and it's a intended receiver, and they're going to say it's incomplete. He tried to drag that toe, and he fell out of bounds. So 3rd and 10 with 25.6 seconds to go. And I got to tell you, Andrew Shackelford over here trying to keep board doing this little dance. And Keller, I've never seen a dance like this ever before. Have you seen anything like that before?
I don't think I have.
It's kind of a bebop, hop up and down deal.
He's kind of jumping up and down while twisting side to side.
Andrew Shackelford bringing the playoff dance tonight here up in Pepperell, up in North Georgia, near the. Now he's doing a little twist. This is really getting a little out of hand. So 25.6 seconds to go here in the second quarter. Pepperell fans on their feet. 3rd and 10, going to throw it over the middle. He's got an intended receiver, and incomplete, and they want a flag. And there's a late flag at the 5. So at 19.3 seconds, they got Cameron Seward there, Ben, on climbing his back a little bit.
Yeah, another late penalty flag. We saw one against the Wildcats earlier against Jake Johnson, and now Cameron Seward gets an unfortunate flag called against him. And I think what may have caused the ref to throw that flag, not completely, but part of it could have been the reaction from the Pepperell fans and sideline. You may have heard there was a huge noise coming out of the stands. And so really an unfortunate break there for the Cats. So hopefully with just 19 seconds left, they can make a stand here and keep Pepperell off the board.
All right, they are a dangerous team, and we're kind of playing with fire here, up 17-0. But this is the proverbial Keller knocking on the door. Ball sitting on our 12, 19 seconds to go. They've got 2 timeouts. Cats upset. They're a running team, but they've been throwing it almost every play. They're going to do this end-around deal again. This time we got our hands. That's Reed Love. Got our hands on him, and Reed Love gets him initially, and then a whole host of Cats get him at the 18, and they're going to burn it. So with 11 seconds to go, what containment by 53. And then after that, the rest of the Cats join the party over there. Great pursuit tackling by the Cats on that play, Keller.
Well, Bill, Reed Love was able to get around the outside of the right tackle there. Now, I thought it should have been called a hold. He was being grabbed around the right shoulder pad, but Reed able to shake that off and get around to wrap up the guy, and then a whole host of Wildcats able to finally bring him down.
Yep, and even if they did call a hold on that Ben, we would have declined the penalty because it would have been ended up giving him a first down again, and right now it's going to be 2nd and 20, so we'd rather just take the play. But what a play by that defense over and over again tonight, and that's really been the story so far.
Yeah, you're exactly right. We held them to 0 points, which is something Westminster hasn't been able to do that often this season. So a great job of bringing out the energy here for the playoffs. Great defense with short fields tonight. That's been something that's really impressed me throughout this first half.
All right, board shows that they've got, well, they just burned another. Should be one timeout. This board still shows 2. 11.3 seconds to go in the half. Cats up 17-0. Again, scored first touchdown on a run by Connor Bennett, then scored after a long drive on a field goal by Harrison Butker, and then a pickoff by Harrison Woodward inside their 20-yard line, then ran it back for a touchdown. So that's the scoring in the game, and Pepperell really having a hard time moving the football. Running football team doesn't like, and they're going to pitch it out. Again, they're doing this end-around stuff. All bunch of Cats at the quarterback throwback, and it's shy because back there was number 46.
Rankin Woolley
back
there.
Is that who that is?
Yes, sir. He got pulled up late to replace the injured Judge Inesco.
Coming in from the linebacker position, the freshman, the true freshman, Rankin Woolley, coming in. So with 5.5 seconds, I believe they're bringing on their field goal kicking unit, and they're going to try about a 36-yarder to try to make this a 2-score game. 5.5 seconds to go. 3rd and about 19. Ball sitting on about the 19. Again, symmetrical there, Ben Ladner.
That's number 89, Jamie Kelly, coming in to kick.
All right, let's see. It's a toe kicker straight on. Cats going to bring the rush, hands up, and it's going to be short and no good. And the Cats have bent, but they haven't broke, and no time goes off the clock. They failed to start the clock on that play. That is definitely, unless we've entered a time warp, Keller, some time has to go by. Is that right?
I believe so. As long as I think the universe is in existence, I guess time has to pass.
I mean, I would think, Keller.
I mean, we're just going to take a knee here anyways, let the half run out, so it won't be that big a deal. It would have been probably a bigger deal if they had faked it and then the clock would have run out.
Yeah, and the Pepperell coaches are turning around looking up at the booth. They wanted the clock to run there because they wanted to either get those 3 points but not give us the ball. But you're right. I think we're just going to take a knee here. Kind of far back. We've got Hayes Meyer standing 10 yards back, and Jake's going to take the knee, and that we'll be content with that. So in this beautiful Pepperell facility, the Cats up 17-0. We're going to go right through a video, and we'll be back at halftime shortly.
Family, tradition, respect. After a regular season full of highs and lows, full of battles and victories, the time is now. The Wildcats travel to Pepperell. It's time for the state playoffs. It's time for championship football.
Jake in shotgun. Reed Love dancing down the right. We're going to roll right. Number 3 looks open, but not enough. Nigel fell down, and he's going to throw it deep. He's got a guy! Touchdown! That's number 27! Merritt Huber on the catch of the year from Jake 40! Merritt Huber doing it both ways. Big hit last week. Touchdown tonight! Charlie Trent snapping to Jake 40. We got a new holder this week. Kick is off. Plenty of leg. Should be in there. And it's good. And the Cats have tied it up off the magical toe of 82. Harrison Butker. We've been riding the Butker train all year. Watch out for Big Joe Bridges on the left side of that line at tight end. Nigel standing behind Jake 40 under center. They're going to give it to 33 around the corner. Nigel's going to go. Watch Nigel Walker get in. Nigel Walker putting on a a fake play. They kick it in to Joe Bridges. He's going to try it. No, Harrison Woodward. Touchdown! That was Day 40 on the inside pitch. The 48, Harrison Woodward. Rode him all last week. We're trying to ride him again tonight. Trying to kick this through from about 38 yards. Normally a tough kick for a high schooler. Good snap. Kick is plenty of leg. Harrison Butker taking control of this game and winning it for the Westminster Wildcats. What a kick!
Hi, I'm Jack Schlafly here with Ben 40. We're here at Pepperell High School during the halftime show. It's 17-0 Wildcats, and Ben, the offense has been playing pretty well so far. Your brother's made a few good passes, and we've really just maintained steady drives.
Yeah, our offense is playing really aggressive football. Jake Johnson had a great game so far this game. He's completed 3 out of 4 catches. Also, Connor Bennett's been zigzagging, making catches. Cats are having a great game so far offensively.
And offensively, you know, we have been doing pretty well, and defensively, it's gone the same way. We've got a shutout so far, and we had a pick 6 from Harrison Woodward, and that really got our defense riled up. We haven't given up a point yet this halftime, and as we go into the second half, we're hoping to see a lot of the same as we have a pretty good lead.
Yeah, hopefully we can just keep up with aggressiveness in the game and hopefully get on those long drives, run out the clock a little bit, and that will help us towards the end of the game.
And, you know, a big part of our offense is really keeping your brother Jake 40 safe. And, you know, he's playing pretty safe right now, but our offensive line has really got to stand up here in the second half. They're going to get fatigued, and they're playing a defensive line that has got some star players.
Yeah, since most of them play both ways, they're doing a great job not getting too tired. But, yeah, I have to give it to Jake. I hate to do this, but he's playing a great game so far.
And it's been a pretty good halftime, and our defense is trying to get pressure on their quarterback, and it's proved to do pretty well so far. He's made a lot of passes that have not been completed. They go to their run game, Ben Davenport, who's just really a steady runner, and they just haven't had the success they usually have with him.
Yeah, I mean, they have those 2 huge linemen. Ones we've already talked about, committed to LSU, over 320 pounds, but our defense is really holding up strong. Good secondary so far, unable to complete a lot of passes. We're doing a great job.
And so that defensive line tries to get on them, and another part of our defense is the secondary. We have Jake Johnson and Nigel Walker playing cornerback on each side, and they're just shutting down these wide receivers.
Yeah, we're doing a great job reading the plays, holding back, coming in, doing exactly what we need to do in order to win this football game.
And the defense has really been playing well, and the special teams also has been giving us, you know, just good features. And, you know, we've got good guys like Nigel Edmonds, Cameron Seward, McLean Bradley, and they've just been really helping out our team.
Yeah, also Harrison Butker. We've been riding the Butker train all year, as McGann always says. He's still doing a great job, never letting us down, holding us up. As you can see, he had a big field goal to, you know, kind of show that we still in this game.
And our kicking game really has been proved to do well all season long, and now we're going to go to a quick video. Hi, I'm Jack Schlafly, here with 2005 alumni Gordon Beckham. How are you doing today, Gordon?
Doing great. Excited to be here. Just finished the lift, and, you know, excited to be here doing this interview with y'all.
So today is the Battle of Buckhead game, Lovett and Westminster. You've experienced this yourself, being an all-state player, junior and senior year. What is it like in this situation?
It's definitely a lot of fun. I mean, there's a lot of good players on both teams, and you go out there and you really want to represent your school well, and obviously there's a lot on the line. There's just a lot of people that really love this game. You know, people that don't even go to Westminster and Lovett games all year will go to this game because it means a lot to a lot of different families around this area. So definitely a lot of emotion. The team that usually can check that emotion and just play physical but play you know, the right way will usually win this game. I mean, you know, you got to just keep your emotions in check because that's usually the way it goes.
After high school here at Westminster, you went on to play college baseball at Georgia. You won the 2006 College World Series and led the NCAA in home runs in 2008. What was it like playing at Georgia?
It was fun. I mean, we had a blast. We made it to the College World Series a couple times and enjoyed that, and definitely had good teams when we were there. But just experienced college at Georgia. It was just a great experience, and you get to go play baseball. It's a lot of work, but it definitely paid off for me. I mean, the more I worked, the better I got, and continued to get better and progress. And then I made it to the big leagues. So. But it all started at Westminster and it ended at Georgia, and then it kept going, and obviously in Chicago.
And once you moved to Chicago, you got your first debut against the Athletics. What was it like stepping out onto that field?
It was cool. I mean, it was definitely a lot of fun. I mean, something you dream about. You don't ever think you're going to get that call up and somebody telling you that you made it to the big leagues, and then you get up there and you experience it, and you see all the people in the stands, and you feel that rush. I mean, it's something that you won't ever be able to duplicate.
And I got to ask you one more question. Your walk-up song, Your Love, why that one?
I don't know. I had it when I started it when I was a freshman in college, and just kept it going. It seemed to work for me there, and I just kept it going. But it's always a good song, fan favorite. It's an old song, but people tend to like it, and they just kind of connect with it. A lot of people that grew up in the 80s know what I'm talking about.
Thanks, Gordon. I'm Jack Schlafly here with Gordon Beckham. Go Cats.
What are we going to do? Sir, are we going to go to a break?
You're live.
Hi, I'm Ben Forty. I'm here with Martha Stewart and Emily Fuqua. Nice to see you guys here showing some Wildcat spirit. So, guys, I want to talk about the cross-country meet last week. Last week, you guys traveled out to Carrollton, and you guys played a really great match. Emotionally, how was this for you guys?
It was tough to lose to Wesleyan, especially after we had won and beat them in region. But, everyone ran our hearts out. We did our best as a team. We all really stepped up. But unfortunately, we just weren't able to win. But, we walked home with that second-place trophy, and, makes it even better to come out next year and hopefully beat them. So,
Wesleyan had a great race. Everything fell in place for them, and unfortunately we got unlucky, but everyone ran really well, and we had a great time on Saturday.
Awesome. Yeah, you guys did a great job. Remember, you guys check that out in WCAT. We filmed that. Also, guys, so do you mind sharing us your place? I know you guys did a great job.
Yeah, I was 5th for Westminster, 12th overall. I was 6th for Westminster and 14th overall.
Yeah, that's really amazing. We talked about earlier the emotions in this big game. I mean, it's great to have you guys here, and really, you guys have just done a great job all year with cross country and everything, so that's all we have to do. Back to you guys.
I'm Jerry Romberg, head football coach of the Westminster Wildcats, and you're watching WCAT.
Get ready.
Are you ready on 3?
Hi, I'm Jack Schlafly here with big Westminster football fan, Mr. Diamond. The game's going pretty well for the Cats right now.
Jack, we're playing so well right now. I love the way Jake Forty's calling the game. We're running really well, getting some great hits on defense. Cameron Seward and Nelson Douglas, I mean, the pursuits are great. They're not fooling us when they do that double reverse stuff. I think we've got an opportunity to score even more points, and everybody loves the WCAT coverage. It's been great tonight. I've heard about it from people back in Atlanta.
Thank you. Our team's really playing well, and one thing, the playoffs, it's come, and now it's going to get a lot more tight for our players. These seniors, they're really playing their hearts out. Everyone's playing their hearts out, and, we're just trying to get really far. And for these seniors, it's really important, and you've seen them grow up. What has it been like to see these seniors really improve as players?
Well, Jack, I think you're absolutely right. These guys really want it. You could see it in the pregame just before kickoff. You could see Nigel Walker and Connor Bennett going up and down the sideline saying, who wants it, who wants it? So, these seniors, they've been playing football for 7 years now, been playing for Jerry Romberg for 4. They want it. They want to play one more game, and you can see the effort out there on the field. Really proud of them. Really hope we can get another game, but we still got 2 quarters to play. But proud of the Cats so far.
I'm Jack Schlafly here with Mr. Diamond, and now we're going to go to a quick video.
Hello, I'm Ed Helms, and you're watching WCAT.
Hi, I'm Scoot Diamond, and you're watching WCAT.
Get ready.
Hi, I'm Keller Austin, along here with alum Christian Cornell. Welcome back. So, talk a little bit about graduated senior last year, freshman in college. Talk a little bit about what it's like playing in these state playoffs, the experience that all these players go through.
Well, me and Julian Houck actually earlier this week were talking about the playoffs and how sort of meaningful it is. It's a whole new level of excitement, and we talked about what it was like. The first round of the playoffs is always so exciting, and getting past the first round and making it to the second round is always huge. But these guys, they look like they have a shot to play during Thanksgiving, which is something we never really got to do. You know, practice over Thanksgiving break, which that was always sort of the goal for us, and it looks like they may be able to accomplish that tonight.
And you mentioned the Thanksgiving break. Obviously, we're off this whole next week, but the football team's going to have to come in, do their early morning lifts, get their practices in. How are they going to be able to stay focused over the holidays and stay looking at that goal of getting past the second round, into the third round, and further on in state?
Well, hopefully we can finish out here, which I think we will. But I don't know, man. We've never done it before. We've never had to practice over like a long break like that. But hopefully we get it done. I guess they'll be the first ones to really experience it in modern history, Westminster football history. But it's exciting, man. I mean, Thanksgiving break, Thanksgiving football. It's exciting for everyone.
And it's special for all these seniors, specifically now being their last state playoff run, having the last time to play football in a Westminster uniform, sometimes the last for most of this team. Talk a little bit about what you felt during your senior season and in your state playoff game.
Well, it's really emotional. You know, you walk onto the field and you don't know whether it's going to be your last time playing or if next week's or you're going to practice on Monday. It's really intense. You know, and when you lose, it's just almost surreal. You know, you're just sitting there and it's like, I'm never going to play sports again. I mean, I had track in the spring, but a lot of people don't have another sport besides football, and it looks like the seniors really stepped up today. You know, you got Butker as always, and Harrison Woodward had the pick six, and Connor Bennett with the touchdown. You know, seniors step up in the playoffs. It's just how it is, and they really stepped up tonight, and sorry, we're winning 17-0.
Well, we're glad you're able to come back and join us. We're going to send it back up to you guys.
All right, thank you, man.
Hi, I'm a nerd. I'm Dorothy.
I'm the god of everything that is based.
And this is W. Welcome back to In the Now.
This week we begin an exciting new segment called Dance Stairs. This week's edition, Gangnam Style.
And we have a special with the sophomore Gavin Reynolds on his show Swag Gourmet.
Check it out.
오빤 강남스타일 강남스타일 낮에는 따사로운 인간적인 여자 커피 한 잔에 여유를 아는 품격 있는 여자 밤이 오면 심장이 뜨거워지는 여자 그런 반전 있는 여자 너는 선호해 낮에는 너만큼 따사로운 그런 선호해 커피 식기도 전에 원샷 때리는 선호해 밤이 오면 심장이 터져버리는 선호해 그런 선호해 아름다워 사랑스러워 그래 너 hey. 그래 바로 너 hey. 아름다워 사랑스러워 그래 너 hey. 그래 바로 너 hey. 지금부터 갈 때까지 가볼까 오빤 강남스타일 강남스타일 오빤 강남스타일 강남스타일 오빤 강남스타일 에이 섹시 레이디 오빤 강남스타일 에이 섹시 레이디 성숙해 보이지만 놀 땐 노는 여자 이때다 싶으면 묶었던 머리 푸는 여자 가렸지만 웬만한 노출보다 야한 여자 그런 감각적인 여자 나는 선호해 점잖아 보이지만 놀 땐 노는 선호해 내가 되면 완전 미쳐버리는 선호해 근육보다 사상이 올통벌통한 선호해 그런 선호해 오빤 강남스타일 강남스타일 오빤 강남스타일 강남스타일 오빤 강남스타일 에이 sexy lady
Hey guys, I'm here with Gavin Reynolds, the professional chef on his show. Well, we know him from his show Swag Gourmet, and he's going to teach us how to do something very special today.
Yes, guys. Hello. I'm Gavin, as Hashini said, and hopefully you've seen my show Swag Gourmet on YouTube. Check it out if you haven't. So, I've heard that last episode I did.
Talk about the interviews. I'll be like, great job.
And we're back here in the halftime show, and we saw a lot of great interviews there. You interviewed the two Fuqua sisters, and they're in the cross-country program. Now they're done, but can you tell us a little bit about tell us a little bit about them, for those who didn't see it?
Well, I mean, they're not really done. They're always going to be in the Westminster Hearts. That's one thing. But really, all I'm saying is they're really great people. I mean, even the better thing is they're twins. They've been working really hard for the past 4 years. Great people, and they've had a great season so far.
And now we're going to go to our second half predictions, and you've got a little preview for the player of the half, could we say. He's been leading us all year long, and could you tell us who that is, Ben?
So, yeah, we've had a bunch of great players in the first half, but I have to say it's going to be Joe Bridges. He's had a great year all season. He's, like you said, a very good leader. I think he's just going to have a breakout second half.
And now your prediction for the half.
Joe Bridges.
Joe Bridges all the way.
Joe Bridges all the way. I mean, in and out, there's no way you can mark it where I think he's the leader of the team, and he's just going to come out and push through. But the one thing we really need to do in this second half is we're going to need to stick it down the throats, put our foot in the gas pedal, and really close out this game.
And this has been the halftime show for Ben Forty and Jack Schlafly. We're now going to go to the high school weekly news.
I'm Taylor Bremer. And I'm Catherine Foley. And you're watching WCAT's Weekly News. The assembly today is the Thanksgiving service. I'm sure you all look very spiffy in your dress-up attire. And tonight we will have a varsity football game at Pepperell, which is an hour and a half away, starting at 7:30, but it's worth the drive, so go show your support. This weekend is also the swim meet and the dive meet at Macaulay that our Westminster Dive and Swim Cats will be traveling to, so we wish them good luck. And now we will have a report from our student government.
Hi, I'm Mallie.
And I'm Robert.
And we're from Student Government.
This year we thought it'd be fun to have a fight song.
And we want you to compose it. The deadline is January 11th.
And it'll be judged by a panel of band teachers, so ask them if you need help.
Go Cats!
Speaking of bands, now we have the weather with Silver Alchemy.
I'm Andrew Gorham.
And I'm Adrian Carter.
And here's this weekend's weather. Today is going to be mostly sunny with a high of 63 and a low of 38.
And Saturday, it'll be sunny with a high of 60 and a low of 39.
And this Sunday, it's going to have a high of 63 and a low of 44, and it will be mostly sunny.
And on Sunday, January 13th, we're hoping that it'll be sunny.
With a slight chance of Andrew
and Adrian
going to PDC with us.
If yes, then go meet us in the Robinson foyer.
We hope you all have a delicious and restful Thanksgiving. Thanks for watching.
Have a great long break.
Hi, I'm Thomas Watkins with WCAT, here to interview John Flanagan, New York Times best-selling author. So, John, what inspired you to become a writer?
I've always wanted to be a writer. I started my working life writing in advertising and television, but I always wanted to be an author above all else. So I guess because I loved reading.
Okay. Is there any book in particular that you read that made you sure that you wanted to be an author?
No, but I think there were several series of books that influenced me in my style of writing. My favourite series of all time is C.S. Forester's series of books about a naval officer called Horatio Hornblower.
Okay. In the Ranger's Apprentice series, is there any any people in your life that you base the characters off of?
Oh, yes, indeed. The central character, Will, is based on my son, Michael. I started writing a series of short stories for Mike to get him interested in reading. And I thought the best way to get him interested was to make the central character like him. So I just made him him. So there's Will is based on Mike. I thought I'd invented Holt, but then I realised after 4 books he was actually my 6th grade teacher. And Jeremy, Horace, who's Mike's, I'm getting my characters mixed up here. Horace, who is Will's best friend, is based on Jeremy, who is Mike's best friend. And he was a big, muscly guy, and they used to play rugby together, and he was Michael's protector.
Okay. Now, in the who's your favorite character? Will from the Ranger's Apprentice series or Hal from the Brother Band series?
That's the second time I've been asked that question this week. I like them both. I like Will because he was based on Michael. I like Hal because he's a completely new invention. He was a character I created. And they both have, I like my central characters to have, certain social problems. In Will's case, it was that he was small. In Hal's case, it was that he wasn't recognised as being a Scandian. He was sort of seen as an outsider. I like them both.
Now, in the first 2 Ranger's Apprentice books, there was a theme of magic around. Are you ever planning on bringing that theme back, or do you like it how it is now?
There was no actual magic, if you read it. Okay. There were weird monsters, and they were controlled by Morgareth's mind. But I very carefully stayed away from magic, because so many people were doing it very well. And I thought, you've got to make up rules if you have magic. But I felt when I first started that with a 15-year-old boy walking around with a bow and arrow, I couldn't have him shooting too many people. So parents might object. So I thought I'd create some sort of non-human enemies for him, and that's where the Wargulls and the Kalkara came from. But as it went on, I sort of gradually felt I didn't really need that. And I wanted to keep it more realistic, I think.
Okay. Are you ever planning on writing a book or short story about Hall and Crowley's restoring of the Ranger Corps?
Bang, you got it in one. Yeah, that's. I've just spoken to both my publishers in Australia and the United States. And that story in The Lost Stories about Holt and Crowley, I don't know if you've read that one, called The Hibernian, was an experiment. I wanted to see if they worked as younger men. And I was very pleased with the way they worked, so I'm going to write 2 books following on from that story and doing exactly what you just said.
Okay. You said earlier that you originally wrote short stories. Did you compile those short stories into the first book, or were those short stories the first few books? And did you add anything else or remove anything from the short stories?
Initially, there were 20 short stories. Initially, I took 19 of them. There was one I couldn't use because in the short stories, Horace was the villain. And I wanted to rehabilitate him. So there was one where he and Will fought a duel, and so I've never used that. But the 19 remaining ones, I sort of just put them all together and sent them to my agent and said, here's a book, and she said there's no central story. So I got them back, and I developed that story of Morgareth wanting to assassinate people who'd worked against him and having that as a theme through the thing. So of those stories, the 19 stories, I think 18 are in the first book.
All right, well, we hate to interrupt that great interview by Thomas Watkins. Great job by Thomas Watkins. All right, from high in the press booth here at Lindale, Georgia, at Pepperell High School. Cats up 17-0 here at halftime over the Dragons of Pepperell. Cats kicking off from our right to left after a great first half. Harrison Buck will be kicking off, and he's kicked most of these out all year, and he does that time again. So he is now 34 out of 39 on kickoffs through the end zone, and 34 out of 39 is most kicks, J. Paul.
That's definitely the majority there. Harrison's just got such a leg. We talk about him all the time. You're probably sick of hearing about it, but he's such a game changer. He can just consistently keep their biggest return men from returning the ball, neutralize any kind of. He's going to win the kicking game and the special teams game for you most of the time, and it's a huge benefit. 3 sections of football: offense, defense, special teams. And if you've already got the leg up in one of them, you're doing pretty well.
Cats in the first half dominated that line of scrimmage. You can see they're a running team. They've got full house, everybody in there in the box. We try to run behind that guy in motion oftentimes. They do that time, and we tackle him again. I don't know who got him that time. I'm checking a number. I believe that was number 48, the middle linebacker, Harrison Woodward, and brings him down behind the line of scrimmage. Harrison Woodward. We're also here with Cole Lacasio. We've got Keller Austin producing. We've got Jonathan Doan on camera one. All sorts of dignitaries. Cole, boy, this is just an all-star studded lineup here tonight.
Yeah, great WCAT staff here for the playoffs. They came out in full support for their Cats.
Packed bus coming up here to Pepperell High School. Ate the cheeseburgers and the pizza. Highly recommend the cheeseburgers. And I'm going to leave it there because Mom always told me, you don't have something good to say, you don't say it. 2nd and 11. Quarterback in the gun, going to try to run.
Look at that pressure.
Throw that little flat pass.
Ooh.
Well, great tackle by number 20. The free safety, Hayes Meyer, coming up that hash and tackling him, one of our leading tacklers. So it's not much. So it's going to bring up a 3rd and 7. Great read there by that free safety there, Cole.
Yeah, great job staying at home by Hayes Meyer to cover that screen very well.
And there was a lot of really good penetration once again by, it's been Justin Giza, Ross Johnston, Harrison Woodward, all these guys. Just Hayes Meyer did it right there. Got really laid a big hit on that running back kind of receiver combo right there. But, getting this kind of penetration, pressuring this poor quarterback all the time, it's done wonders for the Cats.
Quarterback's going to throw again. He's been dancing around outside. We're chasing him down. That's Reed Love trying to get his hands on him. He can't get him. He's still looking around trying to somebody to throw to. He's back in his own end zone, and he's going to throw it out of bounds, incomplete. Everybody staying home. Nelson Douglas on the coverage there, and Nigel Walker deep. Hayes Meyer, no flags anywhere, so it's going to bring up a 3rd and 8. These plays take about 18 seconds, so with the clock is ticking, 10:09 on that throw out of bounds. That's interesting. And Cole, boy, great pursuit by the Cats, but that evasiveness of the quarterback allows him to just throw it away.
Well, as you mentioned, with the players staying at home, they're doing a great job containing this quarterback. That's the key of the game with a shifty quarterback.
All right, we got a lot of people watching us tonight. We got Talbot Nunnally and his son Charlie from Florida. He's watching. We've got
Matt Tyler. He's watching us all the way back
and
here.
A low
in Lindale,
kicks almost down the right sidelines. It goes out of bounds in their side of the field at about the 48. So the Cats have good field position here, Cole. Perfect start for the second half of the Wildcats.
Perfect start. The Cats get the ball about the 48-yard line after a 25-yard punt.
So more of the same. We've got the Pepperell fans are not happy with how this game is going, and I tell you, we're going to do the speed limit on the way out of town here, J. Paul.
Absolutely, and but once again, those Twitter shout-outs, we've got Matt Tyler, our own alumni. He was at our game last week, and as well as I forget who the other one is, but Cameron's got the ball.
And we hand it off to Cameron Seward's going to do that. And now he's got to come back, and he's now just run up the middle. He gained about 3. He ran about 30 yards in that play, gained 3. He was in motion, and they handed it off. Jake doing that kind of Wildcat formation and handed it off to Cameron Seward. Talked to his dad at halftime, and his dad very happy with the way he's going, thinks Cameron could be playing better, and is thinking about docking his allowance, J. Paul.
I don't want that to happen. But I remember that other Twitter follower was Mr. Scotty Jones, the band director in the junior high, and does a lot in the high school for the band, along with Freddie Martin. They were in the assembly today playing for us. They're at our home games playing for us. We can't give them enough thanks.
All right.
So Jake Forty's got the ball.
Out to McLean Bradley on a swing pass. Nice seal block.
Again.
And McLean's going to get the corner and get enough for the first. Great block over there by Joe Bridges, I believe, who had that seal block there, Cole. And McLean able to turn the corner there.
McLean Bradley did a great job there, as you mentioned, cutting up field and getting a first down on that play.
And able to move the ball up to about the 36-yard lines, moving the chains. The sound you hear are the chains moving. So with 8:49 to go here in the third, Cats up 17-0. 2 scores, one by Connor Bennett, the senior, on a 25-yard run, and then a pick 6 by Harrison Woodward. And we're going to put Joe Bridges in motion. This time we'll get a flag. I think we get 2 guys moving at the same time as Nigel gets across the 30. We had the movement there by Joe Bridges, but then we also had movement on the play, I believe, by Nigel as well, or J. Paul.
And that play beforehand, McLean Bradley, he really doesn't get. He's really a bit of an untapped talent. He's every time he's run the ball, he's run for 5, 10, 15 or more yards. He's just gotten so many clutch situations, getting that first down on second and third down for the Wildcats.
All right, we're going to go down to the sideline real quick. We've got some reporters down there, guys. What do you got?
All right, thanks, guys. I'm here with a lot of 8th grade grade students, Ian Payne, Max Coffin, Ben Walker, Ian Ude, and Charlie Bennett. Guys, how do you think the game's going so far?
Well, I mean, it's a great game. Pulling out the lead here. I think we got a great game to come. Great match.
Yeah, like Ian said, big game. Hopefully pull this one out. Or no, we are going to pull this one out. Yeah. So, let's go.
I'm pretty pumped. I'm really happy about this score right now. Yeah. Yes, indeed. I'm looking at some juniors, and they're pulling out some stats. That's good for them. I'm just a super fan. Love the Cats. I'm just hoping for a next game to go to and just support my Wildcats. All I'm doing.
Really, I'm just impressed with the defense. It's a first half shutout, so that speaks some for itself. But 17 points, and we have a scoring defense too. We scored 7 points on defense. So I mean, Cats are really doing it all tonight. I'm proud.
I think we're having a great game overall. I'd like to give a shout out to my brother. Scored his first touchdown of the year. So you know, what's up, Connor Bennett?
Check him out. Yeah.
And I got to ask you guys, you're going to get a little spring sport action, taking a little break right now. You guys can all tell them what you're going to play and, how you guys are going to do.
Well, I'm playing baseball. Played it for a while. It's really a great sport overall. Not sure how it was invented, but good sport.
I'm playing some lacrosse this spring, invented by the Indians. Really great one.
I'm also playing the beautiful game, lacrosse. I'm just ready to just go out there, play my hardest, and I hope to see the varsity field next year when I'm in high school. I'm just ready.
I expect to play soccer this spring. My sweatshirt may mislead you. I used to play lacrosse, but I think I've moved on as an athlete and as a player, and I've decided to make a switch, It means a lot.
Just like Ian Payne, I'm going to try out for baseball. Hopefully I'll make it, and pretty excited to be with all my friends.
All right, thanks, guys. I'm Jack Schlafly here with a lot of guys from 8th grade. Back to you guys.
Jack, thanks so much. Great coverage there, the 8th grade sport. Those guys are very happy down there. Ian Ude, Charlie Bennett, Ben Walker, Coffin. Who else was down there?
Max Coffin I knew because he's John's younger brother.
Yep. A lot of dignitaries down there on the sideline. All right, so Cats, after a couple of holding penalties and other penalties, looking at a 3rd and long, 3rd and 20. Got to get about 8 yards here to get in field goal range. Jake's going to roll out right. He's looking down the field. He's got Bridges maybe deep, but perhaps can't get his feet set. Now he's going to chuck it down to him. Try to get it down there like a punt. Get it, Joe! Oh, incomplete. Bounced off, I believe that's number 20, Hayes Meyer, and then hit the ground. So it's going to be 4th and 20 with the ball at the 45. We got the ball down where we had first down there, Cole, down at the 36, but a couple of penalties, and then it got too big a hole there.
Yeah, those penalties down there will kill you. Those are drive killers. You first had the legal motion penalty, and then you also had the holding call to bring him back.
Yep, so Cats looking at 4th and 20. Still in control of this game here, J. Paul. 7:35 now to go here in the 3rd. Kind of going back and forth. We stopped them. They just stopped us. Got a little bit there. But 4th and 20, going to have to putt it. Butker is going to kick it. They've got a guy at the 10-yard line. And we got lots of people tweeting us and twitting us. Am I saying this correct? I think we're going to take a delay penalty here.
Tweeting at us.
Right, Harrison's going to kick it away. It's one of these high kicks. He's angling for the corner. Let's see if he can do it. He's going to bounce it out at the 5. Harrison Butker sticking him back inside the 5 and running off like it's nothing. What a kicker!
And that's huge for the Wildcats. I mean, when you can put a team consistently inside the 10 whenever you're in, you don't have to be very far up the field for him. He just puts them right inside the 5. And your defense, definitely has got to do their job. But if you can keep them from going 90 yards on you, you're gonna be in good shape.
You could get Cole. You got a kicker there who does that like he's just walking across the street, like he's putting money in a Coke machine.
Well, Harrison Butker's doing his job, and he definitely wants to play a few more games this year.
Boy, what a kick. And he bounces. They practice bouncing it left, bouncing it right, bouncing it forward. And he put the left bounce on it, and he went for the left pylon, and he kicked it inside the 5. They look like they twitched. Perhaps not. They're dancing. They're going to hand it off, go up that right side. Hand it to Davenport. Gets to about the 7. So gain of 3 there, J. Paul, but more of the same with 7:18 and the clock ticking here in the 3rd.
And I think that Davenport's getting pretty frustrated at this point. He's got this big offensive line, and they're just not doing a ton for him. I mean, you've seen 3 or 4, 5 Wildcats get in there on every single pass play. And on a bunch of the run plays, they're getting off their blocks very, very well. I think this game's, that 17 points on the board has been determined by the defensive and offensive linemen really stepping up. They never get enough credit, and they've been bringing down Davenport this whole game, and it's really slowed down the Pepperell Dragons.
Can't say enough about that defensive line of the Cats. They're going to run the same play. Davenport now this time.
Once again.
Tackled beautifully there by the Wildcats. I believe that's Clay Smith, number 75. Filled that gap there, Cole Cassio, and able to jump into there and just tackle him. Boy, he just filled that perfectly. Can't design it any better than that.
Well, as you mentioned, Jay Paul, this defensive line's done a great job getting pushed on that offensive line. They've just manhandled them all game.
Absolutely. You just saw Clay Smith do it, captain of this team. I had the unfortunate action of running into them at Willie's on their Free Willie's night. I mean, there was a mob of them in there. Clay Smith was given priority to the front of the line, but declined to be the great captain he is. So he's done a great job on the field. He's such a humble guy, and he does a great job.
3rd and 6. Quarterback's going to roll left.
Uh-oh.
He's being chased by the fastest kid in the school. Cameron Seward's trying to reel him in. He's still dancing around, and he throws it deep and away. And Cameron Seward caused that. At a 3rd and 6, he had to run to the corner of the end zone, but he couldn't outrun the fastest kid in the school, number 8. And Cameron made him throw it away and turn over the ball and make him punt it to the Cats.
And this poor quarterback has just been corralled in the deepest corners and recesses of this field. It's just been so amazing to see this defense get after that quarterback. Cameron did a great job of it. Harrison Woodward, so many other players that have just consistently gotten to the quarterback and, just scared him out of his wits. One of these times he's probably going to end up throwing a pick to one of our DBs back there, but looks like Cole Haverty, correct me if I'm wrong, back there to receive the punt.
Yep, he's at the 40, and the kick's off and away. It's a low bouncer. Cole's probably going to just get away from it. Get away, Cole. And they touch it back at the 39, and it's going to blow dead at the 42. The Cats going to get it at the 39. So 1st and 10, Cole Casio almost inside field goal range for the Cats. Would be a 56-yarder from right here. But let's see if we can go really take control of this game and put a touchdown up.
Well, to start the half, the defense has done a great job. Cats get great field position twice now.
Yep, you love the ball at the 40-yard line, sitting right there. I think they put it on the 40. It's easy to put there. We were expecting Chuck Easley to come tonight. Haven't seen him. Actually, there's a nice steakhouse up in Rome. Might be sitting there enjoying the game up there. They got free Wi-Fi. Going to hand it off to McLean Bradley. He gets in.
Look at that.
He explodes into the
7 yards.
Explodes into their linebacking core, and McLean Bradley just puts his head down. Now there's a flag on the far sideline at the 40, and looks like it's going to be a hold. Usually is on the Cats, but McLean we had great push on that, and then he ran into their backers 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage, J. Paul.
Really just unfortunate that penalty occurred, but McLean once again exhibiting this phenomenal ability to just make people miss. He doesn't even have to be that big, the way Nigel Walker or some of the other Connor Bennett, other big running backs like that. He's just able to just dodge right through these little arm tackles that so many of these defensive Dragons have been putting on. And he's just, he gets through people. He gets 6-7 yards of carry. And that's huge for any offense.
Procedure on the Cats. Jerry Romberg over there talking to the officials, non-agreement. Let me take a second here to talk about Jerry Romberg. What a job he has done this year. And he's been at Westminster for many years. And he is one of the kindest men I've ever met in my life. He's a gentleman. He's a phenomenal teacher. And he's a phenomenal teacher of young men and even men like me who are not so young. He is just a terrific person. We are so lucky to have him. I know his parents up in Virginia watch every one of our games and tune in to WCAT. Loyal people, want to give them a shout-out. But we very much value having your son as part of our community. And he has done yet another great job again this year, J. Paul.
And you think of the stereotypical big, scary football coach that's very loud, very, very intimidating, but really gets the job done at the end of the day. And Jerry Romberg, he's such a phenomenal person that he's able to inspire these kids in so many different ways, whether it's just driving them to be their best, or he's so much promise for next year. Nigel, wherever he is able to go for college, he's got so much potential, but to have a kid like McLean Bradley, who's a junior that we can have around next year, bunch of other talent coming on the way up from that freshman-sophomore class. But McLean's so shifty. I mean, look, he just got 11 yards on a great play, got the first down on 2nd and short. That's your favorite situation there, Bill. But McLean just such a docile or a a mobile player. He's just able to get up the field like that.
Using those SAT words, J. Paul Meyer almost pulled docile out there, but
I wasn't sure if it was the right time.
Yeah, well, it's okay. You can use that. Yeah, I know you got that card there in your pocket. You're looking at him. Joe Koch, also associate head coach. Can't forget him. What a job he's done this year. And, of course, Kevin Horn standing right next to Coach Romberg all game long, kind of his sounding board, doing all sorts of help. Also, Jim Falcotti in there as an assistant coach. Going to run. This is running on the left side on 1st and 10. Gains about 7. Number 6, Bradley. Cole Lacasio. It's the McLean-Bradley show.
Getting a nice chunk of yards right now. Inside the 20 right now, and definitely in field goal range for Harrison Buck.
That's a docile run, would you say there?
Absolutely, I know you're just making fun of me for my SAT.
I would never do that in front of your back.
Exactly.
Always behind your back.
Okay.
When you're not around. All right, now listen, give McLean a break. Going to bring out Quentin Bennett. That means that we got the big fullback in there. A lot of times we go to the Wildcat formation, put somebody in motion. That's Haverty, I bet.
Uh-oh.
That's a high snap this time. Oh, Jake's going to keep it. He knows what to do. 40 gets the corner and gets down to about the 7. Enough for the first. That was a high snap, and he caught it. And a quarterback, boy, he wouldn't have made that play earlier in this year, but the junior, he's now almost a senior in terms of quarterback games and knew exactly what to do there, J. Paul.
And if that linebacker hadn't gotten a touch of Jake's foot and got him to spin like that, he had a blocker right in front of him. He was in the end zone. Jake Forty made a great decision there in that Wildcat. As 2 blockers went out, got the 2 unblocked players, and Jake Forty was able to see that with that quarterback vision that you talked about, and we'll have him for another year. We've got a lot of promise showing for next year, and he's doing a great job tonight in the playoffs.
Quentin Bennett, the sophomore, standing next to Jake Forty, the junior, going to put somebody in motion. He's going to keep it himself again. Jake Forty trying to get around that left side. Finally nailed hard at the 6-yard line. Nice stick there by the Pepperell Dragon, but Jake hops right back up. And you catch that number? Who was that hit? Was that Davenport on the hit? Yep, that was their tailback. He finally got to hit himself. So with 3:17 to go, Cats looking at a 2nd and goal, ball on the 6-yard line. And Cole, he was stuck pretty good right there.
Yes, he was. And the Pepperell defense did a great job stuffing those holes and getting to 40 on that play.
Yep, all right, see if the Cats can get this in. We've had a hard time getting it in. We got that initial offensive touchdown by Connor Bennett, but since then, unable to do anything offensively. Got Cole Haverty. They could try to hand it off to Cole, but the timing was messed up. Now Jake's going to run back the other way. We got flags all over the place, and he goes down about the 20. So we're going to have a holding call that's all the way back at the 12, probably declined. So it'll bring up probably a 3rd and forever. We got to get into the goal, and the ball sitting back at the 20. Busted play, and the timing of that snap just a little bit late, J. Paul.
Yeah, I mean that's a little. I think there have been a couple little maybe snap issues with the cold hands from either the center or the quarterback. We've seen a couple of bobbled snaps here tonight. I think that the cold's been a factor. A couple of drop passes that we know these Cats can catch, but it really hasn't affected us too much. You look over that little scoreboard over there. We're up by 17 points, so we're doing something right. I think it's the defense and the special teams that have really contributed a lot tonight. And Connor Bennett with the big touchdown. And let's see what we can get right now. I think an inadvertent flag thrown right
so
there.
It's 3rd and 20. Cats up by 17, 3 scores. And we're going to look to get it in, or if not, get close so that we can bring on the magical toe of 82. Jake in the gun, 2 right, 1 left, tight end on the right side, standing next to McLean Bradley, who's really been the best runner all week, all drive. He's got McLean on the left, and it's thrown just a little bit too hard. That was one of those passes on a cold night, perhaps. Shouldn't have thrown it as hard as he did, but trying to get it to McLean and off of his paws. And so here comes Harrison. So Harris will be kicking this from about the 27, making it about a 37-yard kick. I heard some fans talking at halftime, watching Harrison show, warming up, and he was putting on a show. He was kicking, and they were like, "Look at this kid," and it was fun to see. He's kicking off the ground on a grass field, no tee. Jake is the holder. Center Charlie Trent's 10th grader, and see what we can do. They've got everybody coming from that right side, trying to get in to penetrate, and the kick is off. Plenty of leg. Looks left for me, and it's good. Hey, my angle was bad. My eyesight's bad, but that kick was good, J. Paul, and we'll take it. The Cats up 20-0.
That's all that matters. We got that kick in between the uprights. We're up 20-0. This has just been a phenomenal outing for the Cats, and the odds dictated it. Our own Elliot Kaplan put together a very, very complicated odds program for this year. You enter in all the wins and losses for every team, and it pops out some nice odds for your game. We were supposed to win 1.2 to 1. So definitely favorable odds there. That's 6-5. You know, every 11 times you play, you should win just over half of them.
Yeah, and for all those people who are not in advanced calculus, you can turn off your sound for the next 30 seconds. Now we're back. All right, so here on the board, got Jack Bondurant over there looking at the directing. You got Ben Ladner over there, Austin Keller here, J. Paul Meyer.
Keller Austin. You always get that one.
Mess that up every time. I don't know why. I once knew a guy who owed me money with the name Austin Keller, so it always comes back to mind. You got Jonathan Doan here on main camera. Mark Alar. He's got the end zone camera. And we'll show you that end zone camera. It's a special shot. Nobody else in the business has that. And by the business, I do mean the industry. And there's the end zone cam. There is not another high school broadcast in the nation with the end zone cam. And Butker's going to kick this short for him, but into the end zone, and they cannot return it. So Harrison now, I believe, 35 of 40. Is that right? Came in 30 of 35. And that was a short kick, only 62 yards. Cole, that typically is a long kick in high school, but not for the magical toe of 82.
Well, 35 of 40, not a bad statistic by any means. And Butker in his final days at Westminster, but he's doing a great job and staying strong as the kicker for Westminster.
And the Cats really had a strong fall season in sports. Here we are in the second round, hopefully. The playoffs after this game, we're hopeful of that. I don't want to count any chickens. I'm not a chicken counter. But we've had 4 fall sports which have finished. We've won 1 state championship, came in second in 2, and came in the semifinals in another. Handed off to Davenport. Boy, that is stuck hard. Number 34 for the Cats getting in there. Who was that? Was that the freshman?
It looks like it's going to be Sam Allen. He's a big kid.
Boy, he hit him like he owed him money right there, J. Paul.
Yeah, we don't want to owe you any money. We don't want to owe Sam Allen any money.
Oh, Sam Allen came in. He shot that gap, Cole, and boy, he came in so quick and hit him Davenport in the backfield there.
That's exactly what you call a fundamental tackle, as he just planted him on the ground behind the line of scrimmage.
And Sam Allen already pretty low. He's
blitzing a bunch. Allen coming up the middle, trying to get our hands on the quarterback. They get it out to a kid on the flat, tall kid, and he's out across the 30, so that'll bring up a first down. So with 1:39 to go, they move the chains on a short flat pattern. We brought all the backers there, Cole, but the quarterback was able to get that off to a receiver and get a first down there.
Well, the quarterback did a nice job there to stay composed and get it out to his check down receiver. But the Cats defense needs to stay strong here. 1:39 to go in the third quarter, and they're up 20-0.
All right, so Cats really they're trying to keep these plays in front of them. I notice a little bit more of a cushion here, up 20-0 with 1:28. We'll let them burn clock and get 6 or 7 yards perhaps. They're going to hand it off to Davenport. He's into our linebacker crew and finally thrown down by Cameron Seward. Cameron got him after about 7 yards. So the clock is ticking, 1:14. They're down by 3 scores here, J. Paul. So it looks like our strategy here perhaps is to let them have the 3-4 yard stuff, not the 7-8 yard stuff.
Exactly.
And keep the plays in front of us.
And that's what Romberg's looking to do with this defense here. But if you look at the end of every single play, I see number 43 in the backfield. That's Ross Johnson. He's given so much pressure on this quarterback, messing up all.
Oh, it's picked off again, Joe Bridges, and he's going to take it in the house. 49, Joe Bridges picks it off on the flat and takes it all the way home. Pick 6, 49.
Beautifully done. Beautifully done. Beautifully done, Joe Bridges. And that's the player of the half called out by Jack Schlafly. Good call, Jack. We'll get you on but we'll see. We'll hear a word from you at some point. But what an interception there. Just so aware, so able, and didn't even think about bobbling that one.
And the second interception return for a touchdown by the Wildcats. Joe Bridges on that play. Great job as he just got up to that line of scrimmage and he picked it off out of the air.
Put those big paws up in the air. The quarterback threw it, and he misjudged how tall Joe is. He's 6'4", starter on the basketball team, jumped up, caught that ball like he had stickum on those hands, a.k.a. Ferretti Bolitnikov. And he caught it, and he was going all the way, and nobody was going to catch 49.
And that's what happens when you scare the tar out of a quarterback like that. They're going to throw picks.
And he turned on the jets. I believe he was gaining distance on that quarterback. He was taking off like it was a jet airplane on the runway there, Cole.
Cats up huge now after that big play by Joe Bridges.
27-0, 41 seconds to go here in the third, and the Cats are firmly in control of this football game, J. Paul.
Absolutely. I mean, when you've got a defense that can create 14 points for your squad here, it's always big. defense outscoring the offense tonight.
Well, what a pick six by Joe Bridges, and with that, the Cats go up 27-0 with 41 seconds to go. What a great third quarter for the Cats, coming into this third quarter up 17-0, and really squashed Pepperell's hopes by defensively preventing them really from moving the ball hardly at all, and then being very patient on offense, settling for that field goal. But then with that pick six from Joe, getting another touchdown. Now 2 touchdowns scored by our defense, 1 by our offense, 6 points by Harrison Bucker, and that's your ball game, boy. What a great defensive performance by these Cats.
That'll move it to a 4-possession game now. So unless the Dragons can pull off 4 touchdowns in a quarter, quite a difficult feat. But anything can happen. But I think with this kind of defense, you're just always pretty much safe. And that's a decently deep kick, but it'll be dropped in the end zone. And
that's 36 out of 41. What percentage of that is kicked into the end zone, J. Paul? Exactly to the third decimal point.
I can't give you a percentage off the top of my head, but if you think about it, there's only been 5. You know, the difference between 36 and 41. There's been 5.
I got that part. That wasn't the hard part.
Right. There have been only 5.
I could have told you that.
5 kicks that have been returned at all.
Okay.
So those 5 kicks. I mean, we played what, 10 games? We're 4-6. We've played 10 games. 1 kick every other game has been even returned. So no team is going to get a special teams return touchdown on you. No team's going to get 30, 40-yard returns on you and get any kind of momentum.
Catch showing blitz. They hand it off to Davenport around that left side. He's got the corner. Cameron's got his aims on him. They're finally driven down over there by, I believe, number 16, Nelson Douglas.
Conrad Cornell in on that too, number 19. Had a phenomenal
All right, clock momentarily stopped. They got enough there for the first, so they reset the chains. This probably will be the last play here of the third. That was a nice run by Davenport. Came into this game with 1,100 yards behind those big linemen, and that time able to get the corner there and get upfield. And Cats got to still hunker down, up 27-0. It's I'd be happier if it was we had 2 more or 3 more points here to make it a 5-score game, but I'm getting a little picky. Looked like they jumped on the left side. Davenport trying to get out the right side. We turn him inside. Nice jump in there again by Nelson, and getting about 5 there. So 5 seconds, 4 seconds. That'll be the end of the third quarter. With that, so we're going to go into the fourth. We're going to have a video real quick as the Cats lead 27-0, and Pepperell will have the ball heading into the fourth quarter. We're going to show a quick break right here. We'll come back. J. Paul's going to take you home from here on the play-by-play. This is Bill McGann, and take a quick break.
I'm Jerry Romberg, head football coach of the Westminster Wildcats, and you're watching WCAT. That's 50-50
putt if you have. And we're back. We're joined by Jack Bondurant in the place of Bill McGann, who's off to the races on that highway. I believe it would be I-75?
5, 6.
And it's the fourth quarter here, so everyone's got their 4s up across the sideline. Jack's trying to message me some signal here. Would you like to explain there, Jack?
I was saying on how we got here, we took first you got the I-75 right, and then you get on to 441.
Right.
And then that was kind of that last stretch to get to fantastic Pepperell High School. Just near Rome, Georgia. Been quite a evening and afternoon. The temperature has dropped significantly, I must say.
Significantly would be an understatement, but not as bad as that Dublin, Georgia game. That was a phenomenal game. Unfortunately, the last for the Cats that year with that whole Sam Jowers, Julian Hauk, that whole crowd. Phenomenal kids. Really rough to see the end of a season, and hopefully we can prolong the rest of this season as long as we can. And I think we've got a very, very good chance of winning this game. So good news for the Cats. Another game.
Pretty safe bet that the Cats will win this game. The way the defense has been playing, and the score 27-0. Wildcats on top.
Right. Special teams, defense, offense. I mean, Cats are clicking on all cylinders. Turnovers, all the above. Jake Johnson split out to the right, and it'll be Pepperell Dragons ball. And there goes the snap, drops back, hands it off to Big 24, Davenport, and he's struggling for yardage there. Barely gets back to the line, and there will be a flag down at about the 36-yard line. It seems to be a hold on Pepperell. We'll see what the refs call. Refs done a great job here tonight. Haven't missed a bunch of penalties, have they?
Yeah, it's been a pretty clean-cut game, I'd have to say. The calls have not overruled any too many big plays.
Right.
Unfortunately, in the first quarter, if you remember, Nigel Walker's nice 30-yard run was called back on a holding call. But other than that, it seems like a not that many penalties.
Yeah, that was the only one, and then there was that pass interference on the up over by the end zone there, but we ended up capitalizing with Connor Bennett on one of the first touchdowns of the evening. So Connor Bennett, we heard from his brother Charlie Bennett, I believe, in the third quarter from Jack Schlafly. So Schlafly getting a lot of the interviews. We thank you, Jack. Jack's older sister, the cheerleader on the other sideline, Maddie Schlafly. We thank the cheerleaders for all the pep, and they gave him some cookies and stuff during the kids some cookies during the day. But we're back to the action here.
Yeah, and J. Paul, that was holding on Pepperell. It's going to be second and about 20.
And he's dropping back. He's got a receiver almost picked off and brought down hard by, that was number 20.
Hayesmeyer.
2-0 Hayesmeyer. Was waiting for him to turn there, but McLean Bradley walking back to the defense. Ross Johnson once again on the penetration, done a really good job, Cole.
And a great job by Hayesmeyer to get over quickly that play and break up that pass over by the sidelines.
Hayesmeyer doing it all, and it'll be third and a good 18 for the Pepperell Dragons. The Cats have just been peppering Pepperell with tackles. I had to get that in. And they'll line up with two receivers to the left, one to the right. Tight end to the right side. Back in shotgun. One running back to block. See what the Cats can do. Rolls right, a lot of pressure, short pass, and he's down at the line of scrimmage. So no gain there, Jack.
Yeah, I will say, J. Paul, there have been a lot of slipping today on the field as the temperature has dropped. The dew, I think, has created on the field towards the later hours of the night. And the footing has definitely gone downhill as the game has progressed.
Definitely been a factor. And we've seen a couple of drop balls that could have been caught. We had that one by Sloan Schuler, who you correctly identified earlier on. But that's just rough for anyone. Sloan's such a hard worker. He does such a great job. He's so committed to this team, Cole. But he's a great kid. We love him.
Yeah, and one of the nicest kids on campus. Always says hi to you. Always a great kid to see around.
And it looks like it'll be a timeout by Pepperell of sorts. Not sure here. Looks like it'll be a timeout, and it's fourth and a good 18 yards for that first down. So expecting a punt here.
Yeah, but this is getting to the point of the game where you got to go for it. You're down 27 to nothing.
Not really worth it.
And punting's just going to take one more possession away. I think that's what the coach is talking about right now, is drawing up a play, trying to get one last chance downfield, get that first down, and prolong this drive.
And you got to go deep a little bit just to get that 18 yards. It's a long way. We're lined up in punt return formation here. We've got Cole Haverty back. We'll see if we audible that a little bit. And currently 10:59 to go in this fourth quarter. Starts at 12. We're about a minute in. And could be a trick play, could be a punt. We'll see what happens. The punter's back to catch the ball with that very long snap. He's got it, and he punts it away. So Cole Haverty will receive that ball. He runs it up a couple yards. He's still up. And that's a good 10-yard return by Cole Haverty, the sophomore, doing a great job. Congratulated by his teammates. And Wildcat ball on the 43.
Yeah, got up right to the 43-yard line, which was also the Pepperell first down marker.
Wow, I mean, really just only 18 yards pushed back by that punt. And if you compare that to Butker's average punt, Butker boots at a good 40 to 50 yards every single time. Usually the Cats are fast enough to even get back there. No chance to return. But Jake Forty's under center. He will take the snap and hands it off to Nigel McLean Bradley, pardon me. He gets outside with that devastating speed. He's still going all the way. Pushed out of bounds by number 42. That is Curtis Klumke, the junior, and all the way down to the 10. So that's a big 30-yard run approximately for McLean. Phenomenal runner.
Yeah, he was really working his way outside. Stiff-armed a couple of the Pepperell defenders. And once he breaks outside, this is the second time we've seen him today. And nobody's going to stop him. He's got that breakaway speed, and it's fantastic to watch.
Right, and he's able to turn 5 yards into 40. I mean, he's just able to just get outside these one or two defenders that are just hanging out on the right. Just a great job. Jake Forty will take the snap, hand it off to McLean again. McLean up the middle. Gets a good 3 or 4 yards there. Almost to the 10, a couple yards shy. It looks like it'll be 2nd and 7, Cole.
And McLean Bradley probably the toughest guy on that field right now to bring down.
Right, absolutely.
Every single play, it doesn't matter how many defenders wrap him up, he will keep on trudging down the field.
Yeah, and even though at the beginning of most of his runs he's running east-west, he definitely angles it out and gets that north-south action, which all running backs strive to achieve.
Right, and that's something Gary Jones preached to him from the very beginning. He just started yelling at him to get it north and south, and he finally figured it out. So he gets the ball again going east-west. West, in this case, almost to the first down marker. He's there, almost into the end zone. A couple of yards shy, and the flag goes down. But a great run there, a good 10-yard gain by McLean. We'll see if that's called back or if it's pushed forward.
Yeah, it looked like he got knocked out of bounds about the 1 or the 2. Definitely crossed the first down marker, but this is going to be another thought of maybe holding to bring him back. Here we go.
A good amount of holding.
You got a personal foul on Pepperell.
Defense, wow.
Yeah, that's going to be half the distance to the goal line from the 1 yard line, so really doesn't do too much for you, but it's going to be first down and goal for the Wildcats from about the 2 yard line.
The Cats giving Nigel Walker and others some rest, Cole.
Well, McLean Bradley's still in the game, as you mentioned. Just 2 yards here, and I'm pretty sure he could pick that one up.
Right, he's not showing any signs of being tired yet. Jake 40 takes the snap, hands it off to McLean, bounces right outside, and he's cut short at about the 2 yard line, lands on his back. Just got a little penetration. They knew that run was coming with that short yardage, and Pepperell was ready for it.
Yeah, going to McLean 3 times in a row, it looked like they, and from 2 yards out, they know who's they're going to go to with the single backfield. All the Pepperell D end had to do was just reach his hand out, clip his legs, and McLean fell to the turf.
Absolutely, and the job of that D end is to keep that contained. We see Ross Johnson and Reed Love and all these Wildcats do it all the time. Pepperell's can do it too. They've got a very big defensive line, and keeping that contained on the running backs big. Jake 40 under center takes the snap, a little bit jostled, gets an earlier handoff, faked us all out, and that's a gain of maybe half a yard. Not too much, maybe a yard or so.
Yeah, 40 went with the quick handoff to the fullback on right there. I believe Reed Love got a gain of about 1 down to the 2 yard line, or Harrison Woodward, forgive me, down to the 1 yard line or 2 yard line, 1 yard gain. And
Harrison Woodward, such a big factor in this game. He had that big pick six, but really, there's just not a ton of people in the stands here, Cole.
I mean, as the It's good to see the people toughing out this weather. As we mentioned at the beginning of the fourth quarter, the temperature is definitely dropping, and it's good to see the fans supporting their teammate. And Jake 40 runs it in right there.
There it is. Jake 40 with the touchdown, 6 points on the board, and big old Harrison Bucker is going to come in to kick it away, Cole.
Well, Cats waiting a 34-0 lead with this PAT through. I really didn't predict this score. I predicted the Cats win, but not this score. 34-0 already.
Those odds didn't lie by Elliot Kaplan. He knew what he was talking about. But to be up 34-0, I mean, to keep. Looks like that'll actually be Trey Blasingame at the kick.
Avery Bass,
pardon me. I just took a guess. I couldn't see the number. Avery Bass back to kick it. Good hold. And it looks like it's through. Avery Bass with his first. I believe that's his first PAT.
Yeah,
of the season.
He's been suffering. He during the middle of the season he had trouble with an Achilles heel, but it's good to see him back and put that PAT through. Next year he's going to be a key integral part for this team once they lose Bucker to Georgia Tech. So glad to see him out there and putting that one through, making it 34-0. A fantastic game for the Wildcats. With 8 minutes left to go in this fourth quarter, let's see if they can shut this one down.
And the story of this game has really been the defense once again. I mean, when you can keep a team to 0, to just shut them out in a game like this all the way through the main quarters where there's not many, when all the starters are in, you're just keeping a team like this shut out in the playoffs shows you a lot about your team, and I'm sure Coach Romberg's very, very happy to see that. And it looks like it'll be, can't quite read that number there. It could be Bucker. Yep. Get out of the end zone again. Let's see what he does. Pretty long run up to the ball. A good 10 yards there. He's got his formula of steps that he takes every single time. He knows what he's going to do. Does it very well, and the kick is up. A little shorter than usual. Might be a return here. I'm not sure why they're not allowing a return anymore.
I think the new GHSA rule is if the ball is caught in the end zone, it's an automatic touchback. I'm not sure, but I think it's just keep players safe, and which is the biggest biggest key to most rules in the football. So it's good to see.
Not a lot of concussions this season for the Cats. I think that could be part of that with that touchback rule. That's an interesting rule to add. We don't see that in the college or NFL, but at this kind of level, it's really not extremely necessary to try to run back every single kick and risk those players a little more than they ought to be. Run to the left by Big Davenport, gets a lot of speed, not a lot of blocking. 4 Cats in on the tackle, not including Nigel Edmonds, the freshman, along with 39. That would be Graham Powell. So Graham Powell in the game at middle linebacker, along with 31. That is Andrew Gorham getting some time. We'll try to mention as many of these players as we can as we see the other section of players coming in. Russell Uday still on the line, giving these younger guys a shot because we're going to need them next year for sure, Jack.
Also, Matthew Ramsey coming in at D end, it looks like, or good to see another sophomore.
Nearly picked off there. Just a step short by number 47, Cole Haverty. Another drop ball by Pepperell, maybe a little thrown off by those couple of guys flying in there on him.
Yeah,
it'll be third down.
I think number 2, Rickman, the wide receiver on that one, heard the footsteps from those Westminster DBs and got into his mind a little bit.
Hearing the footsteps, that'll scare you every time. But you don't want to hear those footsteps because you know a big hit's coming. You got a job to do. You got to try to get that catch and still just take the hit and endure through that. So Kyle Henderson back in the shotgun. Once again, he's still in the game. A short run for no gain brought down by, I believe that's number 36, Matthew Ramsey, along with
Sanders
on there.
Sanders on that handoff got stopped. It looked like the Westminster line really pushed through that time. He had no room to run, and that's huge to see because Pepperell's line's been giving the Westminster team fits the entire game. So if they can start blowing them off the ball, that's going to cut down on the Pepperell's running game even more.
And pardon me, that's number 36 is Baylor Beck. I think Matthew Ramsey might be on the other side there, Jack.
67, close side.
67, there you go. And Kyle Henderson back to receive the snap again. Shotgun, a lot of passing here tonight. That's number 2. He finally gets the catch. And that is Alex Rickman.
That's going to be a first down. It was a 4th and 4 on that one. The Dragons going for it on that pass play, and Rickman picks up the first down to extend this drive with 6:45 left in the game.
6:45, enough for maybe a touchdown. We'll see what the Cats can do. Really shows you a lot about this backup, these fill-in defense. See if if should anybody fall. See if we're ready to step up. And I think we have been. We've been plagued by a couple injuries this year. Ross Johnson, a big factor, had a short knee injury, and we're back to Kyle Henderson back, makes a nice throw, and he's clobbered after a short gain by Nigel Edmonds. So Nigel Edmonds with a big hit there. Cats overall dominating, first string, second string, every single minute of this game. It's been all about the Cats.
Yeah, right now it's starting to become a heart game. Pepperell's been kind of going through a tough game so far, giving up 34 points, haven't been able to score, but now Westminster's just pouring it on. They want to keep it going, leave nothing on the field. So let's see how the defense shows up on 2nd and 7.
Absolutely. We've got Kyle Henderson back in the gun. 2 to his left, 1 off the line, 2 to his right. Another pass play. So much pressure already. That's number 67 with the pressure. Deep ball up for grabs, a little deep. I think one of the main weaknesses by Henderson tonight has actually been the deep balls. He's been unable to 67's Matthew Ramsey, pardon me. But Henderson's been unable to rein in those deep balls. He's had 3 or 4 big touchdown opportunities that have just gone over the heads of his receivers. It's partially due to the pressure we saw by Matthew Ramsey there, Cole.
Well, with the mobile quarterback, I'm sure Henderson really wants to be able to scramble out of that pocket and get some yards with his feet. But the Cats have done a great job containing him and keeping him in the pocket.
Absolutely, and we've got a couple of receivers out to the left. Got their little towels hanging from their waists. 2 to the right. And it's the same formation all night with these two doubles out to the left and the right. One in the backfield, Kyle Henderson. Drops back with the ball. Pressure from both sides. And he's got to dump it away. That was by 36, Baylor Beck. And 76. Number on that, Jack?
Yeah, Henderson looked like he just didn't have enough time. He was getting rushed on both sides, just trying to get to the check down of Davenport. Just couldn't find the mark, making it 4th and 6, it looks like. And looks like the Dragons are going to
go for it once again.
Actually, no, they're lining up to punt.
It's sometimes enough is enough. Not really worth giving the ball back to him on the 38, just kind of waiting for another ensuing touchdown by this consistent offense. And timeout called by the Pepperell Dragons.
Timeout, Dragons.
And that's a timeout, so we will take a very short break with the short video. We've got oh, pardon me, that's not going to happen. But really quick, Jack. It's just been such a great game to watch. To come out this far and win a game that's very tight. Started out very tight, very tough. Come out, you make 2 big stops on defense, keep them off the board. But who's been one of the biggest impact players for you tonight here, Jack?
Oh, I got to say, well, definitely in the second half, or at least the fourth quarter, McLean Bradley's been playing great. Connor Bennett had a great first quarter. Jake Johnson's been playing well across both sides of the ball. Great stops on offense and defense. It's been really a group effort. Team's been playing well. It I think, gives us a good momentum going into the next week's game. It should be quite a challenge, as most of these playoff games will be. But I think Coach Romberg's going to get these Wildcats pumped up, and hopefully another victory.
Cole Haverty with a bold take on that. Could have let it bounce, but he didn't want to give him too many yards, so he took it, handled that ensuing tackle, Cole, and did a really good job of getting past that tackle. Cole Haverty has shown a lot of maturity and a lot of progress in this his sophomore year. Seen a lot of sophomores, Charlie Trent's, Matthew Ramsey getting some playing time out there, Cole, but doing a great job.
Well, as you mentioned, Cole Haverty had the risky punt return there. He really needs to focus on just letting some of those go, as it's really not worth it to give up a big turnover.
Yeah, I think, but Cole Haverty over this entire season, he's really been able to step up into that punt returner role. A lot of pressure put on you in your first year on the varsity level, but he's done a great job of it.
As Hunter Davis takes the field, we're going to send it down to Daniel Searle with Ricardo Bailey in a couple seconds here after that run play. Maybe a loss of 1, maybe not. So we're going to send it down to Daniel Searle. Thank you, Mr. Searle and Mr. Reverend Bailey. Uh-oh.
Mike 4 is on, and there we go. All right, thanks, guys. Down here with Ricardo Bailey. How about this 34-0? Killing it, Cats.
I can't believe it. I mean, it's a wonderful game. These young men are playing their hearts out, and they have come here to win. You know what I mean? I mean, they're prayed up, they're played up, and they're doing everything the right way it should be done.
Absolutely. Right down here on the sideline, right next to the Westminster players. Harrison Bucker behind us, kicking hard. He's scored it up today also.
It has been just a phenomenal game. I think a wonderful boost of confidence for the young men. And you know what? No, it's not about good luck and everything. It's all about, the practice. It's about the commitment and about the hard work they're doing. Coach Romberg, to his staff, to all the special teams, to the seniors, taking lead. It's a great game. It's a great season.
Let's talk about those seniors taking the lead going into the playoffs here down the stretch. It matters for one-and-done games. What did you see from them over this past week?
I've seen leadership. I've seen them come up to step up to the plate, but even more so inspiring the young guys to come up after them, kind of like passing on the mantle, setting a good example and showing them what being a Wildcat is all about.
And you've got to get a pregame speech ready for next week, right? Right after Thanksgiving, we've got thanks for a victory, thanks for leadership, thanks for hard work. What's your plan for next Friday?
Thank you for the Wildcats winning this game. I'll be down there, man, getting in where I fit in.
There you go. Back to you guys in the booth. Reverend Ricardo Bailey down here on the sidelines.
Thank you, Daniel, and thank you, Reverend Bailey, the Presley Fellow here at the Westminster Schools. Not here because we're in Pepperell, but back at the home base. And we're back to the game. Here we got Hunter Davis getting some, and that was after a hold on the Wildcats. So it'll be 3rd and 15. Hunter Davis takes the ball, hands it off to number 41. Let's get a number on that. A lot of unfamiliar faces that. It's Malin Linder. He is 5'8", 160, the running back. Getting some, getting the carry there, straight up the middle. A good, short gain there. We're gonna send it. Is he ready? We're gonna send it back down to Daniel Searle with
Jay Paul, thanks so much. Down here now with the principal, Ross Peters from the high school. Mr. Peters, incredible showing by the Wildcats out here.
It's great. I love seeing the pick sixes. That's my favorite part. A couple great interceptions for touchdowns. I love that stuff.
48 and 49, getting it down with that little snag and those touchdowns.
Yeah, absolutely right. And I really love the way our defense is hitting tonight. Lots of really formed tackles, and I love it.
And we've talked about it here. There's a big dragon up by the press box that lights up, that fires out of its mouth when they score. We haven't seen it.
You know, and it looks more like a griffin than a dragon to me. I am a little confused by the silhouette up there. But
spoken like a true.
I understand he shoots flames every once in a while, but not tonight.
And that's because of that Wildcat defense. Let's go back to earlier this morning. Thanksgiving service at school. A wonderful, a deep and moving speech by Harold Dawson, 82 alum, talking about the blessed community, about all of us together. And you see it today with the football team tonight, and we see it across campus, hopefully growing and growing every day.
Absolutely. I hope that talk, I hope everybody takes the time to read it if you weren't there. And I hope that and certainly our goal should be that a talk like that becomes a touchstone for us and gives us a way of looking forward as a school and building off what have always been the great strengths of the Westminster community. And it was a really good moment for the school, and I believe one that will help point the way forward for us.
And another good moment tonight, moving on to the second round of the state playoffs. Principal Ross Peters, thanks so much for the time.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Jay Paul, back to you guys up there in the booth.
Thank you, Daniel, and thank you, Mr. Ross Peters, doing a phenomenal job in his first couple years at Westminster. And after a turnover on downs, after a tipped kick, the Wildcats are taking over on defense. Pepperell Dragons are back.
Yeah, on that blocked punt right there, the Pepperell line just blew right past the Westminster players and got 2 hands on it and even more. Luckily, the punter was able to corral it and try and fight for a couple yards, but it's going to be a turnover on downs, and the Pepperell offense is coming back on the field with just under 3 minutes to go in this game.
It's going to make that mistake now and learn for the future, and that'll be Pepperell's backup quarterback, and still got Davenport in the game. He's angry. He's hitting hard. Took 2 or 3 Wildcats to get him down, but he's still no gain on the play. Davenport's still hitting very hard. I mean, you can see the fire in that kid. He's the only one who's refusing to give up in this game, and that's something to be admired in Davenport.
Yeah, he's a senior. This looks like he's going to be his last game. He's going to leave everything out there on the field. I mean, he's putting his head down, driving through all the defenders, and it's going to be a sight to see if he can really bust one right now.
Absolutely, and it's to be commended, and we really hope that there's no concussions or anything that happens for many of these hard hits. So it's 2nd and 10 for Pepperell. Got the backup quarterback, that's number 12, Evan Ashley, the junior, and he makes a throw out to the right. That's the fullback, I believe, on a little out route, and that's a big gain of 14 yards for Pepperell. It must have been a slightly blown assignment, but couldn't really get out to that left side there and get on that route.
Yeah, right there. The receiver was Forsyth, just finding his way out into the flats, and a nice gain right there for the first down. It's going to be 1st and 10, starting about the 24-yard line of the Cats. Pepperell, the Dragons are really pushing right now, trying to get the first points on the board, just dropping under 2 minutes.
They don't want to be shut out, that's for sure, Cole. And that'll be backup quarterback hands it off, gain of about 4-5 yards there. A couple of late hits.
Guys, I'm going to jump in here from the sideline down here with the injured reserve. I've got Merritt Huber and I've got Chip Capper. Merritt, we keep seeing your little reception from earlier on the season on our highlight package. Unfortunately laid up here with an arm, but the teammates doing incredible work. How about this 34-0 shutout right now?
Well, I'll tell you, I love seeing that highlight, my one catch of the year. But we're playing incredible right now. I mean, to put up 0 points in the playoffs so far and to get the young guys in the game, it's really, really a testament to these coaches and the defensive staff right now. We're playing incredible.
Chip, you mentioned about that defense. What was one of your highlights of the defense that you've seen so far tonight?
I'm extremely impressed with the defense tonight. I mean, we were told that they'd have a huge line, and they do. And we've been able to handle them very well, and all of our young guys seem to be stepping up tonight and really doing a great job for us.
Chip, at halftime, we had a little W Entertainment Television. We saw you dancing around behind some folks. Where did that come from? How about those moves?
I guess I was just feeling the beat, feeling the rhythm. Just got to stay entertained.
Absolutely. Merritt, a couple people have already mentioned the senior leadership that stepped up here in this past week and throughout the whole season. What did the seniors do differently? Same old stuff? What was the key there from that senior core group this year, this going into this game?
Well, we just had hard work all week. Practice is the key to the game. Key to success is practicing hard. And we really had a lot of seniors step up this week, and you can see, the scoreboard putting up 34 points. We haven't put up numbers like that all year. Offense is playing better than they ever have, so we put in the effort this week in practice, and that really paid off.
What was that there, Chip?
I was just saying that all our older guys are starting to lead by example, really show what Westminster football is all about.
All right, guys, back up to the booth to finish this out. Hopefully we'll have Coach Romberg in a couple minutes.
And that was a bit. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Chip. Thank you, Merritt. And then we're back to the game here with a nice 10-yard gain by the backup quarterback Evan Ashley. Cats finally corral him after a couple dodge blocks there, but going to be first and goal for the Pepperell Dragons. See if they can get their first points of the night. Cats still up 34-0. Pretty. If you're just joining us. It's been a phenomenal game by the defense, phenomenal game by the offense, and Hunter Davis is now taking the field for the offense. But so when you got your backups in, you know you're doing well.
Yeah, with 12.6 seconds left in the game, it looked like Pepperell took their final timeout, trying to draw up one last play for the seniors to get that touchdown on the board in their final game, the final game of their high school career. Even though, as we mentioned earlier, some of them will be going on and playing college. Linemen are already signing to LSU. That's going to be great to see him playing on Saturdays. And from what we've seen today, it should be a great career for him. Wish him the best of luck. And to all the Wildcats, it looks like they're going to be out there next week, coming out Friday night, day after Thanksgiving. Everyone can come out, enjoy a good Friday night football game after feasting on some turkey. Always a highlight of my Thanksgiving week.
And Chip and Merritt mentioned it. This whole Thanksgiving week, while we're eating turkey, Jack, they're going to be working hard. They've got practice a couple days that week, and they've got the game Friday. So that hard work's been a big factor. Evan Ashley rolls out to the right, sees his receiver in the end zone. Well-executed throw, and that's a touchdown. First point, incomplete. Incomplete pass. So with 5 seconds to go, the Cats have resisted that one of those final blows. They'll get one more shot at the end zone.
Yeah, that was a nice connection from Ashley to his receiver. But Westminster DB rushed in there, broke up the pass as soon as the ball touched his hands. Nice play right there to stop the touchdown. There's going to be, I think, time for one more play with 5 seconds left. And I know Ashley's going to try and get that touchdown. And
he wants it. He definitely wants it. He's going to take the snap under center here. Lines up. The Cats are in a 4-2 or 3 package with the blitz to the right. A lot of pressure on the quarterback, and he'll almost be sacked, and he throws it away to the center. And that's the end of the game, folks. 34-0, a shutout by the Wildcats. And that'll be the last game for the Pepperell Dragons as the Cats advance to the second round of the state 2A playoffs. So a wonderful game here by the Cats. Jack, any last things to say?
I think fantastic play by the defense, especially for Westminster. Throwing the shutout, it's been great to watch. It's tough to do, especially in the playoffs, and I think that mainly due to the 2 pick sixes on the day, Harrison Woodward and Joe Bridges, and it's just a great sight to see. Definitely worth the cold.
Absolutely. Cole, any last thing to say?
Well, Jack, you mentioned the 14 points from the defense, and along with the 20 points from the offense and a shutout by the defense, 34-0 ball game is not too shabby in the first round of the playoffs as the Cats will move on and play next Friday, day after Thanksgiving.
Guys, I'm going to jump right in here as you talk about next Friday going up to Jefferson. I'm down here with Coach Romberg. Coach Romberg, congratulations. The team played an incredible game.
Well, you know what? I thought we played great defense tonight. We kind of were up against it early and gave them some short fields, and the defense held. And then we got a couple early scores there, and still not consistent on offense like we'd like to be. We got to clean that up next week. But overall, great win for the first round of the playoffs.
So you had 49 Woodward and 48 Woodward and 49 Bridges getting it done defensively.
Got a couple of nice defensive scores, and we always say defense wins, and especially when you get in the playoffs. So feel really good about how the defense played tonight. But again, we've got to be more consistent on offense, and if we can do that, I think we got a shot.
What was the offensive highlight of the night for you that you can build on?
Well, I think we just shot ourselves in the foot with penalties, and if we don't do that, I thought McLean Bradley had some nice runs. We seem to be able to move the ball, but then we get the penalties and get backed up. So I think it's just consistency, not having penalties, and I think we'll be okay.
You get to look forward next Friday at Jefferson. Quick thoughts?
I had never played them before, and real excited. Thanks. Real excited about the opportunity to be in the second round. So we'll start working on them on tomorrow.
And some rest tonight. Well-deserved. Congratulations on a fantastic win. I'll let you get with the team. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Back to you guys. We'll be back with a couple more interviews.
Thank you, Daniel. We'll catch you in a second here, but the Cats are fired up tonight. Very sad ending to the Pepperell Dragon season. Didn't get to see that that dragon or griffin type thing that Mr. Peters mentioned go off. But Jack, just a phenomenal night for the Cats.
I will say the first time I saw it, they fired it off right before the beginning of the game. I was frightened. It was very scary. Beforehand, we saw it. We saw the propane tank, and we really didn't think that was actually going to fire.
Did not want to run into that.
But it was quite the sight to see. It's a little sad that we didn't get to see it again, but I guess that's a good thing for the Wildcats.
Absolutely. We've got one more interview here by Mr. Daniel Searle, our very best.
All right,
take it
guys.
away.
I'm going to hand the mic right over to Ben Forty, who's going to reach high to the sky to his brother Jake. Here you go, Ben.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Jake 40. Okay, Jake, this was a great game. Huge for us. Where does this rank in the book of great games for you?
I mean, it's a win. It's a win in the playoffs. Getting to the second round, that's big for us when we push through.
Yeah, this is a huge win. It means you get to play another day. This means a lot for the seniors. I mean, it's really cold in here. I don't know if you noticed being in the game, but how did this affect any of your plays, any of your players?
The cold, ball's a little harder, slipperier. Just got to focus a little more.
Well, I have to say, we could not tell it was hard or slippery. You played a great game. Jake, like we always say, congratulations tonight and forever on. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Ben. You've done a great job tonight. We've had so many different announcers, so much talent here on this squad. We're going to run down a list of them as we try to maybe get one last interview by Mr. Searle and the 40 squad. So Jake 40 with a great outing here tonight. We've got Owen Ladner, Ben Ladner, the Ladner duo. We've got a new recruit, Chapman Wilkinson, along with the one and only Elliot Kaplan, the computer science go-to guy.
Jay Paul, as you're going through that list there, one last interview,
away.
as you said, down here with Coach Russell Wren. A fantastic win. We just heard from Jake. Pretty solid work there.
It was certainly good to see. Anytime you get a win in the playoff, and especially a win on the road in a tough environment, you're excited to be moving on and playing in the second round of the playoffs. And the kids' goal is always playing on Thanksgiving week's a whole lot of fun and a great experience for them, so you got to be excited about that.
Coach Romberg talked about the defense really getting it done, some good flashes on offense, but also some inconsistencies. How do you get that worked out, those kinks, for next Friday at Jefferson?
So no doubt about it. We certainly shot ourselves in the foot a lot, spent a lot of time behind the first down chains. And so some of that we have to separate. We talk about good aggressive mistakes and then negative mental mistakes. We had a couple penalties where it's guys kind of going hard and trying to make plays. We're fine with that, but certainly a bunch of mental mistakes too that cost us the opportunity to make plays or to stay on schedule and get more first down. So, we don't really change anything. We'll get on the film and kind of identify the problems and then get back to work next week on whatever front we're seeing and try to work hard to do a little better job at correcting some of those mistakes. Mistakes are okay, just can't repeat mistakes. We're a little worried the last couple of weeks. We definitely repeated some mistakes, so we got to work hard, make some improvement, and try to play a complete football game.
You win to play another week, and that's a chance to work on those mistakes, right? You could be headed home and no more games, so that excitement of second round of playoffs. You mentioned Thanksgiving week. What does it mean to get that deep into the playoffs?
Well, I think first of all, for our kids are very aware of kind of the history of the program, and Coach Romberg has an unbelievable record through the first round of the playoffs, and so that's always kind of a big hump to get over. And then now they get the challenge of, this senior class gets to make a name for themselves. You win the second round. That's kind of been the one we struggle with a decent amount. We've had some teams that have gone past it. I know for the 5 years I've been here, this has been the week where we've run up against some pretty good teams and played a couple tremendous ball games that haven't been able to pull out. So that's a challenge for them, and there's a lot of excitement to do that. also, frankly, usually the playing on the week of Thanksgiving benefits us because the last week before Thanksgiving is a really difficult academic week for kids, and that takes its toll. Often that's been the second round week, so we're pretty excited to get them on the week where they're going to get a little rest and be raring to go, and we'll be sure to give our best effort next Friday, and I'm sure that'll be a tremendous football game.
And we're sure you will, Coach Wren. Congrats on a great win. We'll let you get on the bus there with the team, and good luck next week.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Guys, you heard it right here. The challenge is on these seniors, on this team, to start to make a little bit of history and advance past that second round. That'll all take place next Friday at Jefferson on WCAT. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Daniel Searle, and thank you, Coach Wren. Such a phenomenal job by this coaching staff, all these players. They give us something to broadcast. They all put so much effort in. So we're going to wrap it up here tonight. Had a phenomenal crew, and we've got a long drive home, Jack. So thank you to all of our viewers. We'll catch you next week at Jefferson against Jefferson. So we're signing off. Thank you, viewers. Go Cats.
This is as big as it gets.